What's going on, people? I'm on your time for once. Just watched my team get destroyed by the Devils, but that's okay. Alrighty then. 2-2 in the series. 2-2. Alright. Alright. Setting up. Waiting for people, waiting for stuff. Things are going, things are going to happen today. Alrighty. 1 second. I'm just fixing a few things here. Fixing a lot of shit here and there. Alright. It's fucking 3:52 in the morning. What do I do for you guys, man? Alright, hold on. Alright, so how are you guys? Can you guys hear me? Do you hear the game and everything? Let me know. I know you'll all be logging in. You can hear me. Yes, good, true. What's up, dude? What's up, all my old school guys? CMM, thanks for joining, following. People who are on. Alright, so just a quick stuff of what's going on today. So today we are gonna have Drew on. And like I said, for those of you who don't know me, I am missing the history from 94 till Xbox days. Okay? I played this game longer than any one of you guys. It's a fact. Maybe not like the game testers, but I live this game. Okay? And there are millions of stories which I tell you guys all the time. You guys know them all by now. Okay? But my stories are old and gray. Me and Jimmy are the first two documented tournament players. We had another crew though. I don't mention the other crew because they're not around anymore. And so if they're even watching and they feel like shitty about it, well, they're not around anymore, so they don't really get to be mentioned. So it's just Jimmy and me. And there was a lot of us, okay? I mean, and we pretty much started this tournament scene. We really did. And I'm not getting into that stuff because you guys know. You know all those stories. Thanks, Drew, for being on, for the follow. I know you guys know my history, okay? I mean, I didn't know about any one of you guys, any one of this stuff. There was no internet when we played. We just went to an arcade, me and Jimmy with our guys, and we played every fucking day. And we love this game like everyone else does. And then, you know, forums started and Xbox and stuff and fucking all sorts of hell. And I know, internet's the internet, whatever. We were talking to a bunch of old guys like me and Jimmy. But, like, this shit has gotten... Roll Tide, how you doing? This stuff has gotten kind of out of hand in ways. In good ways, in bad ways, in people who think they're good people, who's fucked up shit, I think. Or people who think they're bad people, who's fucked up shit. People who don't understand how to lose properly, how to win properly. All this stuff's going to be discussed. Okay? So... And I know that a lot of you guys are waiting for this kind of stuff, and it's not like I want to exploit a certain type of person or not. Like I said, I'm still gonna go through a few things before I get people before I get Drew on the Discord. The thing is, I want to explain a few things before I do anything. Okay, when we were younger, okay, when we were young kids, we would get into. And I had these conversations with Lex and stuff, and like he didn't seem to care. We would have players who would just fucking troll you in real life. And they would just mess up your day. You know what I mean? You want to go and play and you want to have a good time, but then you're losing to somebody who did some cheap shit or whatever, and he's fucking there. Don't act like you guys. Don't act like stuff doesn't bother you left and right, because it does. That's why you play this game. That's why you do stuff. That's why people follow you. That's why you're hated or you're loved or you're separated or this fucking matters to everybody. Okay? It matters. That's why all you guys are on right now. That's why you guys are going to be talking about this shit. We just had a big stream last week or two with Base, and I asked him, dude, I need to know. I don't know any of this stuff, and he actually gave me details and stuff which I had no clue about. And like I tell you guys, Base knows players. He knows people. He knows who does what, how people do things, what they do, what they have done, who plays what, who's a great player, who. So I'll bring up Base first. I'm like, I had no idea about at least 100 of the dudes that he's talked about. And every single player that I've played that he's told me about is done exactly what he said. Like, he plays this way, he's the best Sub-Zero, he's the best Jax, he's the best this, he's the best that, he does this, he sucks, he's this, he's that, he's great. I've never heard that from anyone, okay? From anybody. When I was younger, I knew who the best players were because I would play them, I would see what was going on. I'm going blind, man. I'm going in blind. Half the matches that I actually watch or see or play, I don't know who these guys are. Yeah, they could be better. That's fine. But this guy's got knowledge. He just knows his stuff, okay? Whether or not 100% of his stuff is true, everything that I've talked to him about that I've needed to know has been accurate because I'm like, okay, I want to play some great guys. For example, the greatest Cyrex player. I always used to say that I'm the best Cyrex player. No, I do the same shit all the time. But this Twin Paradox guy or whatever his name is, I keep forgetting his name. So Base is like, he's the best fucking Cyrex ever, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, and yeah, the dude's amazing. Like, I would never know this kind of stuff if I didn't talk to Base. Do you guys understand what I'm getting at here, right? We have a segregated community of people like us who love this fucking game, but we won't fucking join. We'll just sit there and just keep this fucking mess to like one side, another side, our side, the OGs. You got like one side, you got troll side, you got fucking people who get pissed. And I can understand every one of you guys because I fucking lived this game. Okay? I lived it. I know top players. I met Detroit Ballin. I fucking sponsored the dude. I freaking got people equipment. I helped with VSM. I spoke to Phil this week. Me and Jimmy are doing this stuff. I left Combat Network because Combat Network was very one-sided as well. It's not really my channel. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff today. Okay? We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff today. And all you guys should listen. You should really, if you care about this game, tweet it out, do whatever you want to do, because Base got to speak first of all, Base was never, I need to go through this stuff first, okay? So I'm sorry if you guys are bored, but I need to go through this stuff first. Base was never allowed to speak on Combat Network. I respected, it was not my channel, okay? It was not my channel. Okay? I respected the guy who ran the channel. He doesn't play the game anymore. He doesn't really look, I don't know. He's not part of this anymore. But I respected the rules of what I need to do. But Jimmy and I have been taught, first of all, a little bit of history here. OBS, even though I was never part of it, I was OBS with Jimmy the first fucking day I met the guy. He wanted to do this kind of stuff the first day I met him. Okay? This is not a lie. Okay? The first day I met the guy, he was about putting people on blast. Seriously. Okay? So don't think that any one of you guys were before us. We scripted who we were the first fucking day we met each other. I was always the guy who wanted to bring teams together. I was always the guy who people think that I'm on sides with them. I do understand everybody's aspect of stuff, including horrible people, great people, and my own friends used to be like, how the fuck can you talk to that guy? They used to be like, how could you talk to that guy? I used to be like, because it's fucking part of the game. You fucking win, you lose, you learn how to fucking lose. Okay? If you get validated 500 times and someone trolls the shit out of you on the internet, that's what the life is now. When we were kids, the guy would... Dudes, I told you guys this story so many times. Dudes used to follow us to the parking lot, sleep in the car, wait till we went home, practice our own combos versus us the next day. That's the same shit, okay? It's the same shit. And they would follow us, talk shit about us, go to arcades, fights. I mean, it's the same exact thing. Nowadays, just because people can make memes and shit about you and people have their fucking panties in a bunch, you just got to learn how to take it. You got to learn how to take it. Or don't play the game. Quit the game. And quitting the game is also bad, too, because that steams the guys who fucking... They don't want you to quit. They want to take the abuse. They want you to take the abuse. The only way to beat this is you go and beat them. Okay? And then they're going to do shit to you, too. Okay? I'm just getting into the fucking, like, real core of stuff. Everyone's got a side. I've heard one side. Okay? I've heard Base's side. I've heard Shock's side. Shock has not been around. Okay? I have heard... Well, me and Jimmy's always had the same side. We fucking hate online shit, and we just go to tournaments and we bring it. You know what I mean? We've always done that. But this is a new era. I mean, I've heard... Let me just see. I've heard... True Koo's side. He's one of the new guys. He's one of my best friends. He's one of the reasons why I'm still doing this today. Okay? He inspires me to play. We came to NEC in Jersey, spent $2,000. I came from Sweden. I'm like, I gotta come. I gotta go. I gotta see the kid. I was coming for work or see my family anyway. I was like, of course I'm gonna go see the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I tried to come to Cincinnati. Okay, I tried. Let me see something. Let me just. My phone's going nuts here. Hold on a second. All right, so I have a bunch of messages coming in. All right, so I know it's been, but I'm on your time, your guys' time now, so I know that this I have unlimited time tonight. Okay, usually I sign off. I watched the Rangers get beat by the Devils today. Props to the Devils, 2-2, and watched with my kids, and now I'm on. I got some rest, and I am waiting for Jimmy to come on, and waiting for Drew, which he should be on. And Drew will be okay. So, hey Drew, what's up, dude? So today we are gonna go over Drew's history of MK. It might take a while. I'm very interested to know. I'm not gonna rush this. Okay? I need to know. I want to know. There's so much missing. It's like when you have fucking amnesia. You just like wake up from a coma and you like miss this part of... I missed all this stuff, okay? I was in the beginning. I'm at the end. The middle is like a fucking... I don't know what it is, okay? This stuff, in order to not fix, in order to get this scene together, or not even together, in order to get this scene a scene again, this stuff needs to happen. So Drew will get a voice today, okay? No. I'm not gonna play anything today. Today, I can put now. I want you guys to really focus today. This is really important, okay? The community has been divided for far too long. Again, I'm not saying that this is gonna reunite anything. This could make it even worse. But whatever. We got to start somewhere, okay? This has been an ongoing, brutal thing for a long, long time. Drew's gonna get to talk. Drew's listened to the base stuff. He's gonna get to talk about his side of stuff. Okay? Alright, so Jimmy's on now. Alright, so let's get Jimmy's moderating, okay? Any of you guys get out of hand, you got to deal with him. Okay? I dealt with Jimmy for fucking years. You don't want to be on his bad side, okay? Because even me and him fought for years. We were fucking competitive players, dude. We didn't just sit there and have coffee and candy all the time, okay? So, all right. I'm going to. All right, hold on a second, man. I'm so bad at all this shit. All right, give me a minute. All right. So, let's see here. Let's see. Give me a moment. All right. Okay. All right. All right. I am in. Drew, you can join the voice channel if you have permission. If you don't, I will fix that. Okay. And I'm sorry there's no matches tonight. If you guys wanted to see matches, you could sign off. If you're not interested in this shit, you could that's right. If you're not interested in this shit, please you could sign off, watch later, but this is a very big show. If Drew if you can't join, let me know.
Hey, I think I'm here.
Okay, cool. All right, let me see if everyone can hear everybody. All right, so we got Drew online here with us, and let me fix because I was messing with Discord with the kids before. Go ahead, I can hear you, my friend.
All right.
How are you? So the show is all yours. Let's start with this. I have asked Base to give me his history. I haven't gotten into any of the controversy. I just got into history, and I honestly, I know people don't believe me. I really don't know shit about this stuff. I have no idea about any of it. I hear bits and pieces from guys like you and from Shock. How I get it. Because I know Shock personally for 15 years. I've worked with him. I know his family. I know who he is. And I specifically heard a lot of things, I couldn't do. I couldn't talk. Couldn't say much. Couldn't do anything. Fine, I respected it. But this is like a middle ground, okay? So, Drew, introduce yourself and tell me about your history of UMK.
All right. Well, I am Drew, better known as Ted Druzis.
Okay.
In tournaments, you'll probably hear me called Ted Dropsis because I have a habit of dropping combos every now and again in rather important moments. But yeah, I'm Drew. Summoning, let me first say thank you for having me on here. Thank you for talking with me.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on.
And thank you for coming on because I know your stance on this. By the way, I just want to say a few things. I know your stance on this. I respect what you guys were doing, okay? But now that people are coming around a little bit, it's nicer. Okay, I'll fix Drew's audio. Thanks, Drew. Hold on a second.
Let me beef mine up a little bit. How's that? Does that make it any louder?
Let me see.
True.
Yeah, Truku's my freaking engineer. I am so blessed with I have such good people to help me with all my noobness. True, is he good? True, you can talk.
All right. How's that?
I think it's better. Yeah.
Okay, great, cool.
I think it is, but they'll tell me. All right. So go ahead. Anyway, just finishing what I'm saying is I want to give he said good. I want to give everybody their voice, their chance. Okay. And there's something else I got to say. Let's say you tell me something and Base tells me something, right? It's very hard. I don't know who to believe. I'm not saying that anyone's lying or you know what I mean. I wasn't there. You weren't there, let's say. Yes, maybe you can rebut some stuff. He could also come back and do that another day. And it could go back and forth like this. That's fine. As long as we come to some kind of middle ground and some kind of resolution. Because we all want to play the game, okay? Here's the thing. We all want to play the game, but we shouldn't play it in segregation.
Yeah,
okay?
You're right.
Okay.
And I think that I don't know how accurate the segregation or segregated community part is
Hmm.
because most of us, the majority of us, will play with just about anybody. But that might be a topic for a little bit
Yes,
further,
we'll get into that
further
later.
down the
Yes,
conversation.
we'll get
Yeah,
into that later.
yeah.
So anyway, so on the floor right now is Drew. Again, thanks for coming on. I want to hear your history from the day you played this game, from the day you figured out that there's a tournament scene or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
I also want to say one more thing. I have nothing against you tweaking this game. I just never, I'm such an old school guy, I've heard around that like I want to make one thing clear before I start. Okay, I
Okay.
am not taking your whatever that you've done to the game in a negative way. I just don't play it because I'm such an old school guy. I know that you could reset it all to the. I never knew that in the beginning anyway. I knew you could
Yeah.
reset it. It's nothing to do with that. All I'm saying is I never played a game that wasn't tournament ready. So it
Right.
like if you changed one thing, it doesn't count in tournament. So I'm just old thinking that way. That doesn't
And
mean
that's
I
fine.
don't like what you do.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
might sound like sometimes people be like, "Oh, you're playing the plus." I'm like, "Fuck no, I ain't gonna play. I'm playing the real game." You know what I mean? Like it's not like,
Yeah.
"Fuck no, I hate what this guy's done." No, I just don't think it's needed. But you wanted to do it as a hobby, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
cool. It's a pretty cheap hobby.
okay.
So
Yeah, absolutely. And
yeah,
your love for the
and
game? Yes.
yeah, and let me say this.
Sure.
Uh, the plus games, MK2 plus, UMK3 plus, uh, the original gameplay is designed to remain intact unless you set some options otherwise. Now, the other thing is too, I didn't come on here to plug the plus
No,
games.
no, you
Again.
can plug it. This is
Um,
your this is what you listen.
all
Base
right.
got to say what he wants to say. You could say what you want, okay?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'll close it when we're done. It could take an hour, 2 hours. Take your time,
All
because
right.
there's a
So
lot of stuff we got to discuss. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So and the other thing is too is like this like UMK3 Plus was not ever intended to be in competition with like UMK3 Tournament Edition or
Okay.
Ultimate Cup or anything like that. It was never meant to be like that. The end goal of the Plus games was to complete the arcade experience. It wasn't really to cater to online stuff. It wasn't to enhance, the game with like community options and stuff like that. It was just meant to complete the arcade experience in the spirit of or our best interpretation of the spirit of the original game. So,
Okay.
you know, marginal, like insignificant changes to core gameplay. Like, as in, it is 1.2 gameplay with the exception of things like, how player 2 Sector can't shoot a regular missile
Right.
when he's got a smart missile out there. Well, in UMK3 Plus, he can.
Okay.
And how player 2 Jax can't charge low kick for a ground pound and do a dash punch.
Hmm.
In UMK3 Plus, player 2 Jax can. It's something, uh, a character shouldn't have disparity based on what side of what side of the cabinet you're controlling him on.
Right.
That's like the only changes to gameplay. Everything else is just enhancements. There's, stage glitches that are removed.
Hmm.
The characters on the select screen look like they belong there so Juggernaut's hack puts Noob and Smoke on the select screen, but the characters are like behind the portraits and the select screen blinking, like the flashing icon and stuff,
Hmm.
like when you're moving the cursor around, that's like in front of the fighters. UMK3 Plus fixes that, and it
Okay.
puts borders around Human Smoke and Noob's portraits. It's stuff like that. It's stuff that might seem insignificant, but there's a laundry list full of them that this takes care of.
Okay.
So
No, I mean
that
I
adds.
understand. Okay. So let me just say this. So you changed, but you did change a few things. So like for example, you changed the sectors, which makes it like for example like I just want to bring this up. When we were kids,
Mhm.
we went to the arcade. One of the biggest things in the arcade was one of the buttons were broken.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? We would
yeah,
play. We had no choice. Ain't nobody gonna fix that stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
That's
mean,
what.
I
Yeah.
prefer to be on the player two side. If I'm playing on a cabinet, I prefer to be on the player two side. It just because the angle of the control stick is easier. Like if I'm playing against somebody and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not real buddy buddy with them. I'm not going to rub elbows with them at the cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the angle that I'm standing at. Player two side's just easier for me.
Yes, and I'm so happy
You
that you brought that up. One of the reasons why I play Cyrex and Kog'Maw is because nobody would play you if you played Cabal or Human Smoke, and no one would play you if you played on the left side, on the right side either. So I learned how to play left side and the shitty characters just so people would play us. Honestly,
Yeah.
honest to
Yeah.
God, nobody knows this stuff because we're old, man. I mean, like you would never get anybody to play you if you were just beating people down with Cabal all day. It's not happening. So we learned low tier. We sat there and just like tried to get some competition. You know what I mean? So there's
Yeah.
why I'm so like dedicated to the original. So my head, it's all in my head. It's all that I know is the old ways to do things. You know what I
And
mean?
that's cool.
Yeah.
I respect that completely. Such to the point
Mhm.
that like we had always run Juggernaut's hack for the Ohio tournament stuff.
Okay.
And for 2021, we decided, no hacks at all, just run 1.2
Okay. Cool.
because that's the original and that's what we decided to run for the main event.
Okay. That's
Because
good.
you know what, we should run the originals for main events. So and not even Juggernaut's hack.
Yeah,
So
you take the inadequacies for what they are. I mean, I listen. I would tell people to, when I was a kid playing Cabal. Okay, God, if the spin was just a little bit slower, the game would be perfect. I used to say that all
yeah,
the time too,
yeah,
because we get so beat up by Cabal players, But like we knew that it is what it is, So that's
yeah.
that's the that's I just wanted to bring that up. You could, of course, I want to hear it all, but I just wanted to bring it up. Like I never was against. It sounded like I was, but because whenever anyone talked to me about it in tournament situations, or did you play that versus somebody, I'd be like, no, dude, I ain't gonna play that. I ain't just gonna play the regular one. So all right,
Yeah.
continue.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so yeah, let's move away from the arcade hack topic and stuff
Okay.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
we could talk about that for hours. We could
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah. Yeah.
differences in
Yep.
hacks. We could talk about what Midway kind of, what obviously was rushed, like how all like the MK3 female characters can jumpstart the UMK3 female characters,
Mhm.
but most of the MK3 male characters can't. That's just kind of weird.
Right.
It's an odd thing, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's just subtle intricacies and things like that, like how they made U subs ice clone blockable if you land on it while you're holding block, and
Right.
there,
Stuff
there,
like that.
there's
Yep.
there's stuff like that, and it's not it's not like the smartest guy in the room mentality by any stretch of the imagination, because with as much as somebody might know, if it doesn't translate into gameplay ability, then it's really not good for much in a
Right.
competitive scene.
Right.
But it's cool, like it's cool, it's cool stuff to know, I feel like. But anyway,
Well, yeah, but you can
uh,
only know that stuff. This is another thing. You can only know that stuff when you have the ROMs and stuff at home. When we were kids, we paid to learn everything. We did not know as much as you guys. We still don't. Like, I mean, Base was showing me how to do run jibs. I can't do that shit. I can't do it. I
yeah.
can't do it. So I can't. So all right. So your history. Let's minus the version you made. What is your MK story? Okay.
All right.
What is
So
it?
like
Yep.
like like everybody else, I'm like I'm 40 years old.
Okay.
Okay. And that'll play into the story later when I probably talk about how I'm too old for a lot of this
Okay. No,
now.
that's fine.
But I was like 9 when MK1 came out. I didn't really play it much in the arcade. Like 2 and 3, I remember walking into like the local bowling alley one day and they had replaced the MK1 machine with an
Hmm.
MK2 machine.
Right.
And the first thing I did was go to the character select screen and pick Scorpion. You know,
Yep.
and then I got pissed because you couldn't throw a spear at anybody. Like they'd always block it or they'd always duck it. They'd
Yeah.
counter it.
The
They'd
computer.
do that
Yep.
half screen sweep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up I think rolling with Katana most of the time I played in the arcade.
Hmm.
I got it when I got it for Christmas on the Super Nintendo or whatever. Same thing with MK3. Never played Ultimate. Never bought Ultimate MK3 on the Super Nintendo or Genesis because they were hot garbage.
Okay. Yep.
And then the Nintendo 64 came out, and I still have mine from it was I got it the day after Thanksgiving of what 96 I think.
Okay.
Like it was like Black Friday before Black Friday was a thing. But everybody was getting like Mario 64 and Pilot Wings 64 and
I
stuff
remember
like
those
that.
days.
And I got Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Um, and that game again, it was a mess,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something fun to play at home, and I liked that. Well, time went on. I got a little bit older and kind of moved away from video games a little bit. Not exactly by choice. But we'll fast forward to like 2012.
Okay.
Uh, and so like I hear about this. I see videos of on YouTube of Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. And I don't know if it
Okay.
was my cousin or a friend of mine or somebody told me about it. It was like, yeah, okay, this will be fun. I'll download it and play it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up the arcade ladder on UMK3 a few times. Finally figured out how to beat the game. And I was like, all right, I remember having fun with this. I'm gonna go online. And the first time I played as Human Smoke. I got bodied,
Okay.
and the guy like immediately I get hate mail. Like the guy's like cussing me out.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Human Smoke players. You guys can all suck up whatever.
Yep.
And it's like, well, okay, all right. So that's how it's gonna be. That's cool. So I learned the game, went and saw some YouTube videos about how to play the game, watching different people playing the game, things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then I happened across the Road to Evo set between Shock and Long
Which was
Island
one of
Joe.
the best sets ever. That was like,
Y-
you
yes,
know, that
yes,
was
and
great.
it was after watching that set that I decided I wanted to get good at this game. Yeah, like, it wasn't just like, okay, this is something to do when I'm bored. Now it's like, okay, I want to get good at this game.
Right. And funny that you
So
bring that up, by the way. Shock has never beat Joe in not say never is a hard. Shock has never beat Long Island Joe in like that in that level because Joe is the most amazing tournament. They do this like the most focused tournament winner that there is, by the way. So a Shock is
yeah,
better than Joe, but he
yeah,
can't beat him. And that's something I'll bring up later too about the way things are when I was like we knew like guys who could perform. Long Island Joe was one of those guys. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me roll back a few
Sure.
seconds to where I mentioned the smartest guy in the room comment, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you've played the game for any stretch of time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't actually have to be smart to see like the jump starter combos that don't hit on certain female characters.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So,
You
but
could
yeah.
figure that out. But like the ice clone dropping block, yeah, not a lot of people are gonna know that. They're gonna
Oh,
hold block, but then they'd figure it out. But maybe they did. They're just in the middle of a match and didn't really think about it. You know what I'm
yeah. Oh,
saying?
I mean, I know like people that play Unmasked Sub, and when I played Unmasked Sub, I would get pissed when people would like land on top of the ice clone and blocking it. It's like you shouldn't be able to block that, but like they built in something that you can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I get
And
it.
but yeah, it's like if like you don't have to like be smart to see that. You can just observe it like with your eyes and stuff.
Mm.
You don't have to be real smart. So forgive me if I came off a little bit.
No, no,
You know.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no,
All
no,
right.
no,
Because
no issues. No, I
I
don't
I
got
I can.
anything. Let's like I don't got anything against anybody. I don't.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
might
I know.
sound
I
like
know.
I
I know
do,
you
but
don't.
I don't.
Hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
You're just getting to the bottom of things, doing your
Yep.
best. But anyway,
Getting the bottom of things, getting people to play again. Go ahead. Yeah.
so I found Test Your Might sometime in like 2012. And I won't digress too far into the Test Your Might stuff, but I'm saddened by the state of it today. Like the 2021 tournament and
Mm-hmm.
then the tournament this year. um, like the event thread, like the event thread itself in the event section. I
Yeah.
don't think either one of those, the 2021 or the 2023 event, I don't think any of them got. There were no RSVPs, no comments, very little views.
Okay.
Uh, Makes me sad that like the foundation of Test Your Might, like it was built on the classics, and now it's just like, what are the classics? Are you talking about MK9 because that's a retro title now?
Right.
You know, like it makes it kind of it depresses me a little bit when I think about what Test Your Might was, what it was built on, and what it's become now. But
Okay.
that was a little bit of a digression. I'm sorry, but
No, it's
I
okay.
found I found Test Your Might, started posting there, the different topics and tips and stuff like that. The GG topics, the GG topic, which I think a big chunk of it has been lost to time, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Uh, but like I used to think like, man, like I'm always the one coming on here and telling people good games. Nobody ever says it to me first. So I kind of use that to like get a little bit better at the game and like figure out like how to get, like how to do human smokes bread and butter combo, how to effectively run jab, how figuring out how to block jab or glitch jab or whatever you want to call it. And it's actually like when you're first learning how to do it, it's not as easy as it looks, but like
Right.
once you figure it out, it's second nature. It's like everything in this game.
Right.
Once you figure it out, like you can almost just turn your mind off and go on autopilot to
Right.
do
So
stuff.
so so you so Road to Evo, let's say, was
Yeah.
one of your highlight points of like wanting to be good, wanting to be competitive. That's a great, like I said, that's really good. Let's do this. Let's fast forward to
Hmm.
when okay, you brought up Ultimate MK. A lot of stuff started there. A lot of weird things. And
Yeah.
I want to bring up this stuff too because I met Shock during the quite end of the Xbox era, I think. So a lot of this stuff started happening during that forums, right? Or was it before that? Like a lot of
I think a
the
lot.
Okay, go ahead.
I think a lot of the foundation of the drama, I guess,
Hmm.
started well before my time. 'Cause I didn't really get involved until like late 2012,
Okay.
early 2013, as
Okay.
like fashioning myself as an ultimate UMK3 player. So up until like yeah, so like 2006 to 2012, I was not there.
Okay, yeah, so Base told me the
Yeah,
same thing just now on the chat too. Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't, like I said, this is how like kind of innocent I am in this. I don't
Yeah,
know. I have
and
no
that's cool. And
idea.
and
Yeah,
I'm not going to speak to that at all because I wasn't there. I
that's
don't
fine.
know.
Yeah,
All I
I
know is what I heard. And my thing is like if I don't have a firsthand account of something, like I'm not going to speak it like it's the truth.
right.
So
Okay, no, that's
I'm
cool.
not going there
So
with it.
you're not part of the Xbox era. Fine.
No, no,
That's good. Okay.
never have owned a Microsoft console. I'll
Okay.
go that far with it. Yeah.
Okay. So that's good because that leaves out a lot, which is fine. So the other thing is, so yes, you became a competitive player. You wanted to play, which is awesome. I mean, I love stories like this because I know this is just icing, but I know what this game meant to you when you told me you saw that like on Road to Evo stuff and it like got to you and you're like I gotta play this game. I know you have a family and stuff and whatever, or you didn't have that then, or you still play that today. I know that you're dedicated to this. I know that you are, and I know that
Yeah.
Shock is, you are, Bases, I am Jimmy, all the players we know. I know all of us have our own ways to do things. I know it. I'm 50, okay? You say you're 40. I'm 50.
Yeah.
I'll be 50 this year. Jimmy's a little bit older than me. We would never stop. I mean, the only thing that would stop me from playing this game is the grave. Honestly, I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop. I just I come on. I talk to people like to do this. I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing I get out of it. I just love to do it.
Jimmy was telling me at Summer Jam back in 2018 I think he was gonna try to send you to the grave or something at one point.
Yeah, me and
That's
Jimmy,
that's
we fought for.
that's why you occasionally hear me just chime in with a quick quip like, "Man, I'm just glad nobody's throat got cut,"
Yeah,
because
well,
that's
guess
what Jimmy
what?
said he
I
was gonna
when I
do.
heard that, I knew who it was because I know I warned everybody. I warned everyone. I don't know if you know my story here, but I warned everyone. If this dude comes back, you guys are all in for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're all in for it because and then when he came back, he came back with a fire and he came back that day. Of course, we made up. We know each other forever, but like people heard about it. There was the people were talking about it. They were good. They Arturo and shit came up to me. They're like, "Yo, you want to cancel? You want to get the guy like thrown out of the event?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, I know who this is. I'm like, and even if there's a problem, I'll handle it. You know, like I'm like, don't worry about it. You know, it's like, and people are like, yeah, but we're not used to this stuff at the FGC. I'm like, well, I told you guys you weren't ready for this guy. But anyway, so
yeah.
so you so you so let's go to the ultimate MK stuff. Let me and it's a touchy subject, but let's go to that stuff. How, when, why, what is your experience of let's say the drama on there? Because everybody knows the history of the game.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
there are sections of players. There's stuff going on for many years. Let's say it started from the forums. Okay, what is your take on that? Like where do you what did you know? What did you remember? They say that you're not around for that era either, but what do you
Well, I
remember?
was,
Yeah.
like I said, I got on Test Your Might around 2013, 2014. All
Okay.
right. And I made some friends from there.
Okay.
I met some people that, some of us, I met them on PSN first and then found them on Test Your Might. Some of them found them on Test Your Might. We ended up playing on PSN. And I can't separate that. Like all I remember is like there's a lot of Test Your Might and PSN stuff like intertwined together.
Okay.
Like I specifically from PSN, you have like Draconian, you got Biggs,
Mhm.
you got DDY,
Mhm.
Dubson,
Mhm.
that Y7779311. Like
Mhm.
he was on there a lot. Um, Platinum Shinobi, I
Okay.
played with him a lot. Like I feel bad for naming all these names because I know I'm gonna forget somebody.
No,
Like
no, that's fine.
I got involved with.
I'm glad you're actually doing that. But that's we'll come up with that later.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like Mortal Jason, like that guy hasn't been on in ages. Great MK2 player.
Mhm.
Um, and then I got into MAME because people PSN is a trash port, and of the different ports of MK Arcade Collection, the PS3 version probably was the worst.
Mhm.
It might not have been as bad as the PC version, but it might have been. I never owned the PC version.
Okay.
Uh, but from my understanding, the PS3 version is the worst, and I gotta agree with it because it was pretty bad. But anyway,
Mhm. Yep.
got like into MAME sometime like 2013, 2014 ish, and met started playing with NWO,
Okay.
and started playing with everybody knows the guy around here, that infamous Mr. I Got Bass.
Okay.
Started playing with him around like late 2013, early 2014,
Okay.
and it was NWO that got me playing with him.
Okay.
And that was like back in like the MAME days where everybody had like the tip sheet on like how to get how to get MAME playable over Kylera. Kylera is
Yeah.
such
Yep. Oh, I remember that. Yep.
it's a delicate snowflake of a program.
It's 21 years
Uh,
old and stuff, but yeah, something like
yeah,
that. Yep.
yeah, but like it worked, and as long as the connection wasn't bad, and as long as you weren't playing on Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
it was night and day better than what PSN had to offer. So started playing more guys on there. Like I think I started playing Cienfuegos
Okay.
on PSN first, and then we eventually hopped over to MAME. Same with Biggs. NWO was MAME first.
Okay.
Um, what's his name? He has the unmasked Sub Zero. I can't think of it. Or he has the masked Sub Zero, the classic sub. I can't remember his name. Nobility
Oh, okay.
V3 or
Okay.
whatever.
Mhm.
And that guy had a pretty good classic sub back in the day. I started playing with him on MAME,
Okay.
and then eventually it was the shapeshifter also went by Magister.
Okay.
Uh, so like he was there, and like all like just a lot of people playing the game together. Like every once in a while, somebody new would come on. Some people would stay, some people would go. Some people like I said, Mortal Jason. I haven't played a set with him in years. Um,
Okay.
and through MAME, PSN, Test Your Might, got to know a pretty good amount of players.
Okay. So that being said, when and again, if you don't want to touch on anything, just say you don't want to touch on anything. I ain't here to. This is not anything bad. I wanna know when did it start getting when do people like start getting like to you guys or to certain players or whatever? Because when we were younger, like I said, we had guys we hated playing, dude. And I mentioned two names. I don't know because you haven't really heard a lot of my show. There's two names of players that I know. I don't know. I know one of them personally, and I know one of them only online. And one of them is AJ Bain, and he's an MK1 player, and he's a great
Yep.
guy. Okay, but he's blocked me uh, because I called him a runner. Okay, because he
Yeah.
is, but he's much better than me, and I've never ever ever told any person that I'm better than him. Never have. And I just hate playing the guy because in MK1 when you run for the whole round and it's danger, danger, and you lose by that duck and high kick, and you're like, motherfucker, god damn it, like after a while, I'm like, you know what, I love playing you,
Yeah.
but I need some time.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, I can't do it, and I would talk on the stream, and he would get offended, he'd get really pissed off. I hated playing him, but I think I could take him offline. He says no, and okay, fine. So he's never gonna talk to me again. Ever.
Yeah.
Am I sad about it? I used to be, but now that's fine. You know what I mean? It's what am I?
Yeah.
He's a runner. He'll always be a runner. And guess what? It's like I always bring this up. It's the Jedi, man. If you hold back when the round starts, you have the high ground. That's it. That's what you do in MK1. You walk back. Okay. The guy who follows you, what chances do you have to win? Pretty much none. Okay, so you can sit there and try to get to him. He's going to jump on the other side and walk back to the end of the screen. So that's the first player. Second player I hate playing, who I know personally, is AC 1984. I can't stand playing the guy. I know him personally. He's a really good kid. I've known him forever. He's the nicest guy ever. Do I like playing
Yeah.
him? Hell no. Is he better than me? Hell yes. But I hate playing him because he does that corner trap uppercut bullshit stuff to me. Like he always pushes me in the corner and he gets ready for that bounce uppercut. He does it to me like 100 times. I don't know what to do. Every time I play him, I'm in the corner and I get like uppercut. I can't even explain it. You probably know what I mean. It's like I'm just in the corner. I'm trying to get out and he like pushes me in the corner and uppercuts me because I'm bouncing back towards him. I don't know. Whatever. I hate playing him too. So it's like, yes, I understand there's players that people don't like. When was your actual knowledge of the internet era of people actually getting to you guys? Because I need you to admit, I'm not saying it's nice or not, I need you to admit that players like Base got to you. They wanted to get to you, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't mean it like I want people to attack other players and fucking hurt their lives and get personal and stuff. But Base, by the way, I'm going to bring this one more thing up too. Base, by the way, he has told me and everybody that he wants to drop the personal stuff, but he doesn't want to drop the beatings of whatever that he does online. I
Yeah.
think I think that's very respectable. I
Yeah.
absolutely do. Okay? Because
And
yes, go ahead. Your
and
turn.
listen,
Yes.
since we're here, we're here.
Yes.
Um, back in 2019,
Okay.
I told that core group of players,
Okay.
that it was like we were kind of all in Test Your Might, and then we kind of swung over to Discord, and then went from Discord to like the Facebook group chat, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was like 2019, not long before the 2019 tournament that I held. Um, I just like, you know what, guys, this is, it's too much. It's, uh, you know, I'm not going to deal with it anymore.
Okay.
And it was that time. It was actually right around my daughter's birthday in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, look, guys, I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm just not going to talk to him. Not going to talk to him. Not going to play with him.
Okay.
Um, and that's where it has been left
Okay.
for the past, slightly over 4 years.
Okay.
Now,
I know before you get to now, let me tell you
okay,
one thing. I'm going to explain one thing to you, and then I'll let you go really quick. When you have players who are as intense as Base, and believe me, he's a competitor. I know guys like him. Okay. I've met guys like him. I've met him in person. Guys like him, they love the game as much as you do.
yeah,
Okay? They win and they do shit differently, man. They just do. They just do. Okay? It is you it when you actually choose to like ignore the player, all you are doing is starting a war. Because we all play this. I know it seems so trivial. I know this. This is you got kids, I got kids. We both have 4 kids. I get it. Oh, but when you mention that like you just don't want to play him or ignoring whatever, do you think that guy do you think his goal was for you to stop playing? No, him? Hell no. That's where I want to kind of get into stuff. Anyway, continue with the now point. Go ahead. I
all
just
right,
wanted to
yeah.
bring that up.
So
Yes.
yeah, so like I see Biggs in the chat there, and he's absolutely right.
Okay.
Because I
I didn't
because
bring it
I
now.
realized
CKK, there
like
was an intervention and decided that Drew wouldn't talk to base. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Fine.
I,
Yeah.
I don't I don't recall the intervention piece at CKK. I do recall prior to CKK me telling everybody that I would not knowingly communicate with a guy. I say knowingly
Mm-hmm.
because hang on a second, sorry.
No, take your
There we
time. Don't
I
worry.
say knowingly
Yep.
because like, the guy changes account names like I change my underwear,
Yeah.
you
You
know.
know why he does it? He
Um,
wants to play people. He
yeah.
wants to validate you guys. He wants to do
Yeah.
his thing. But
And there was the occasional like showing up to troll on my streams, like if I was doing like UMK3 plus development or whatever,
yeah,
there'd be like
why do you think that
okay,
is though? Why do you think
I
that
well,
is? Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fine question, and
Okay.
like like taking pictures of me and photoshopping them. Like he
Mm-hmm.
he he took a and now listen, I can't I can't verify if which one it was, if it was Base or Sans. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Okay.
But like I said, I mean, since it's gone here, we're here. Like like a photoshopped picture of me that somebody picked off of Facebook,
Okay.
photoshopped it, and like you know what, like my hair's been thinning for the past like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like it's already going. You don't need to accelerate it.
Yeah, but you know
uh
why they did it
but like
though? They did it
yeah,
because
they
you
they
disappear. You
they shaved it off.
Yeah. Okay.
Like in the Photoshop, they shaved it off, put a yarmulke on top of it, and the spoofed Twitter handle was Ted Jesus. Like that's that. I don't know. That's just kind of weird.
No,
Kind of weird to me.
I get it. I get it. I'm not.
Yeah.
First of all, I've talked to Base. He wants to. He wants to. I mean, I know everyone's tried to. First of all, everyone tells me you can't take it serious. Like he wants to take a little bit or a lot of. I should say a lot. Sorry, not a little. A lot of the personal stuff out of it. Okay, he does. But the fact that you said that day for I don't know him. I don't know him as well as I know the other tough guys that I used to deal with in my era. But if you cancel the dude, because you pretty much canceled the guy, even though you didn't think you did anything, you just wanted to be the better man. That's fine, okay? But that all that does is make it harder for you. And
Well, here's the thing.
yes, go ahead, go ahead.
I am not. I'm not trying to cancel the guy. I think cancel culture is ridiculous. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Me not wanting to have anything to do with somebody is totally different than trying to cancel them, because I know for a fact that there are some that there are some people that were part of that group that I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, that I said, hey, I'm not gonna associate with him at all anymore, and I've kept my word on that.
Right.
And yet, despite the fact that I was encouraged to do that for long before I did, there were individuals that continued to associate with him, talk to him, play with him, stuff like that. Kind of boggled my mind a little bit. Kind of made me think like, why just me?
Right.
Um,
Right. Okay. Well, it wasn't just you. There was other people.
right.
Okay. That's
Well,
that's the, that's the
and
truth.
if other people don't want to play with him, that's their business. It's not
Yes,
mine.
yes.
Okay.
By the way, you are
Um,
getting tons of props for coming on. I know your stance on this. Everyone
yeah.
knows. So you are. And this is absolutely not a place that we're going to. There's questions that you might have to answer on the chat if you want to take a look at that real quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, like
yeah.
Big said, you know, Drew got exposed, and I guess in a way I was.
Okay. That's
Um,
fine. We
you
all
know,
fuck up
some,
or not or whatever. Sorry.
sometimes
Yeah.
when you hang out with people, um, you kind of start to change a little bit, and you just start you look back at it. Further removed you are from something, the more you realize that you were turning into something that you really didn't want to become.
Okay.
Like I kind of started to enjoy trolling people a little bit, not necessarily in the UMK3 community, but just some people that I had been acquaintances with,
Okay.
you know, through games and other things. Just
So
like
you have it. You have it in you too. You just do it in a
yeah,
kinder way. That's because we're all competitive. We all fucking love this game. We all want to lose or whatever. Not even the game. We all have this game is. I will say this again to the oldest stream. I don't care how great you are or bad you are, good you are. This game is toxic. All fighting games are toxic. It's one versus another. We don't
yeah.
play to have cookies and cake. I tell this
No,
to
you're right.
everybody.
You're
Yeah,
right. You're
everyone.
right.
So it
And
is
here's
brutal.
the
Yes, go
thing.
ahead.
Here's
Yep.
the thing.
Yep.
So like I can equate it to like playing baseball on a team, right? There are some guys that like they're inseparable on the field, off the field, like they're teammates on the field, they're good friends off the field. And I played baseball with a few guys like that. There were some other guys that, like we weren't necessarily close, but if they were, hanging out off the field, it's like, hey, yeah, let's hang out, whatever, it's cool. There were a few guys on the team summoning
Yep.
that's like, you know what? Like, we're on a team, but when we take the uniform off, we're not friends. And
Exactly. Exactly. But the difference between my team when I was younger, we fucking hated each other. But if one person of our team was going down, there's a difference between the online and the offline era. We had 10 guys, and we would fight all the time with each other because we wanted to be the best of the group. But God, if someone came in there, man, and like beat up Jimmy or whatever in MK, we would come to his rescue, even though we fought him all the time. You know what I'm saying, right? That's
oh
group
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
is yeah.
yeah,
All right, so there's a lot of stuff we got to get to on the chat
yeah.
if you're okay with it. So let's go back.
Well,
Yes, go ahead. Sorry, continue. I'm just
let,
gonna find the
let me
place to.
finish that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure, sure, sure.
So like, and after a while, um, you know, people just get sick and tired, I suppose, of their personal lives getting dug into,
Okay.
and so I can sympathize with that. People don't want their personal lives dug into. They just want to play a video game. They just want to
Okay.
phrase it the right way. They just want to keep it MK,
Okay.
despite the fact that in spite of their efforts, they can't seem to keep it MK.
It will.
Um,
I don't mean to interrupt. It will
so
never be that though. It can
right, and and
never.
and,
Yes.
and
Okay.
that's
Okay.
fine. I
Mhm.
get that.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna find out things about people, and you're gonna trash talk.
Yeah.
But digging into personal lives and using it against people, that was like
Which Base
that.
has admitted to me that he doesn't want to do anymore. He has. Okay, he might have told you guys that, or a lot of times when people tried to be friends with him again. I'm seriously okay. I'm not saying he's gonna stop doing stuff. But like the fact that he is separated, or like I should say, he is absolutely separated. Gonna get to that later. That those are the things that fuel the fire, man. Those are the things that maybe you guys haven't experienced. I've experienced in real life players who do. I was getting my car and stuff broken into, not from MK players. Maybe it was. Who the hell knows? I was when I was playing games back in the day, my car was broken into many times. I don't know if that was MK guys or what. Lots of real life stuff I've seen as well. Breaking into things, starting problems, throwing people into machines. I've seen it. I've seen it all. So I'm a little bit used to this stuff. Growing up in New York and stuff, growing up and going to the city and things like that. I think this is my personal opinion. I think when you chose not to speak to him or like not to associate with him, I think that just brought the fire going. I could be wrong. I'm going by my own assumption. I've never really dwelled upon, but I do know the fact that there's a like separated communities.
Hmm.
This is a big issue.
Well,
It's a
and
big issue. Yeah.
there's and some people choose not to be as involved in the community and I'm sure they have good reasons. Like they don't get real chatty.
Mhm.
They're not real active in Discord or Facebook chat or any of the many avenues because they don't feel like that aspect of it is a good fit for them in life, I
Right, but
suppose.
if they were a really, really great player and they won a lot, like when they come on and they just
Yeah,
like disappear,
yeah. Well, like
there's beef with those guys too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you're
and like
playing and you love the game, you stay on, you take
oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I forgot. Biggs just called it out. There was a big Skype group too. Like there was like just about every chat thing you could think of.
Yeah, we'll
You
get to it. So okay,
Yeah,
after
yeah,
you brought up the exposed thing, now I'm up
yeah.
to that CKK. There was an invention. We talked about that too. So the next
Well,
thing,
yeah. Let, let
yeah,
me let me let me let me roll back
sure,
because like
yeah,
we went from like 2014 straight to 2019, and
yeah.
there was a lot in the middle.
Okay,
But
go ahead. We'll go with that first. Then we'll. Listen.
yeah.
There's unlimited time for me tonight. But if you got to go because you got kids, let me know. But I'm
No,
I can.
I'm good for now.
Okay.
My kids are asleep, man.
Okay.
I
Cool.
I got to work in the morning, but I'm good for another hour at least.
Okay. Great. So we'll get as much as we can get
So
done. Yep.
yeah, so 2016, probably late 2015, um, we get this idea for a tournament. Now I don't know. I don't really remember whose idea it was first. If it was me, let me do my best impersonation
That's
of
okay.
myself. If it was me, like, hey, Base, I want to run a tournament, or if Base came up to me and was like, hey, what do you think about running a tournament, partner?
Okay.
I don't remember which one was which.
Okay.
Okay,
That's fine.
but it was basically I would put it together. He would fund it.
Okay.
Um, and he gave $1,000 to run it, and it was a winner take all.
Okay.
And we had a decent turnout for like we didn't have a ton of notice. We
Okay.
didn't have
That was very nice of him to do that.
it was great, and like props to him for bankrolling that because it was very it's $1,000 some people's a lot of money.
It is. It is a lot of money
Um,
still today. Yes, it
yeah.
is.
So 2017,
Mm-hmm.
same deal. I think he bankrolled 500 of it.
Okay.
Still a
So
good
so
deal.
that's $1,500 in 2 years. That's pretty damn good. That's a
Yep.
dedicated guy to the game, by the way. That's a guy who
Yeah.
loves the game. He won't do that if he doesn't care about the game.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. And absolutely. And it's not like we ever took it for granted in the past. It's not like we just forgot about it and suddenly in 2018, 2019 we're like, oh well, yeah, he bankrolled us, but screw him anyway. That's not how it went.
Hmm.
But we had 13 for the first event. I believe we had 17 in 2017. 2018 event, I don't remember any financial involvement. Again, like I could probably zip back to PayPal from 2018 if I really needed to.
Yep.
I don't recall.
Okay.
But we had I want to say we had 19 or 20 for that event.
Okay.
Um,
That's
and
good.
then the 2019 event, um, I think numbers were inaccurate that were reported to you last time, but we had 26 for the
26.
UMK3 event.
Okay.
And then we had 31 because some people came just for like MK2 stuff like that. But we had 31 participants overall for the 2019 event.
That's pretty good. I think that the biggest event for that was the one we did in Ohio,
Yeah.
the other seasons meetings, which you weren't there, were you?
No,
Second.
I was not involved in the
That was
circuit.
the I think that was the biggest one. That was like 35ish, and those were really good players there. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's up to 2019.
Okay. So
And
he gave $1,500. So if whoever's listening, Base put $1,500 into a game. Okay, so if you guys don't know that, now you know. So okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. And since then we've had some very generous sponsors like Your MK Arcade Source.
Okay,
Over the years, he's put in quite a bit of money.
okay,
Combat Network chipped in a few times,
okay,
and some individual ones like XL Arcade. Like if you ever see like reprint side art on arcade cabinets, like the really good stuff comes from XL Arcade.
okay.
So
All right, lots of stuff is coming out. All right, so now, so what
and you know
happened
what?
afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
After which part?
after those tournaments and stuff,
Hmm.
what's the next step? Like, what happened then?
I mean, like, are you talking the drama, or what are you talking
No,
about?
like after so those events you thought went well,
Yeah.
then you went home, did what you got to do, and then what was the next thing? Like the next event or major uh, MK story between
Well,
players or whatever. What was it? What was next after that? Like what was the
well,
next steps that you remember? I know you might not remember half this stuff.
yeah.
Like I don't remember.
There's a lot to kind of recall really quick. Like I'll be honest with you,
Hmm.
I did not like I didn't like get out a pad and paper and start writing down my
I get
thoughts.
it. I get
I
it. But
didn't
was
like
there
write
like
a
an
lot.
individual? Was there like a specific uh, uh, real like things you want to talk about that were changing the scene and your views on things? Was
Well,
there? Okay.
there was a good turnout. Like I said, the
Hmm.
best turnout we'd had yet for the 2019 event. And there were some technical hiccups that caused the main event to run a little bit longer than it should have. We figured it out.
Okay.
Um, and there were some really good matches. I mean, like the 2019 event was the best. And let me say for a minute, real quick, I never believed for a second that Base was credit card scamming anything to give funds for anything like that. That's
Yeah.
like I don't
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
where people come. I don't know where people come up with that.
Well,
Like I don't.
this is the trolling part on both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So people could say,
yeah.
yeah,
There's trolling on
that's
both sides.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. It's
Which is also not. It's also attack against his personal character as well. You see what I mean, though, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that
Just
if
you
he
know,
did
I
that, if he does memes and stuff, and then someone's actually saying that he's credit card scamming, that's even worse. By the
Oh
way,
yeah, I mean I mean that's a pretty strong accusation. I mean
right, right,
it's pretty strong. I mean, it's I mean it's pretty bold too. Like
right.
also like tagging like creating a spoof account and tagging Ed Boon and saying like, "Oh, I'm making a killing selling a ROM hack of your video game." That's pretty serious stuff too because
Right.
yeah,
Right. Well, anyway, Base is talking
that,
about some
that
stuff
did
now.
happen.
Let's not talk about that
Yeah.
yet because there's other
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
before
we're
that.
good.
We'll get
We're
to
good.
that. We'll get to that if you want to. All right. So,
Yeah. Anyway, so
yes.
the 2019 event was the best, and I actually dropped, I dropped probably $400 or $500 on extra equipment to help out with the 2020 event.
Okay.
I had McLovins over. I had because McLovins lives in Cincinnati. I had
Okay.
Ziggy, who's up in Columbus, and one of his buddies came down.
Hmm.
Uh, I think at that point Nate was part of the scene locally, and like he came up. We did just hours and hours of play testing and
Okay.
working on stuff to make sure that like the technical hiccups weren't going to happen again, and that the equipment that I bought, like the switchers and stuff like that, that stuff was working the way that we wanted it to work.
Okay.
I had talked to Speed from Brazil, Parallax from down in Chile,
Okay.
and then I talked to a couple of the Russian guys that were up in Russia. We were gearing up to have international players at the 2020 event, and then of course the great human malware of 2020 hits. and like we're doing I'm running online tournaments every
Right.
month for
Right.
anybody that'll join up.
Right.
We did a charity tournament for Arcade Legacy.
Okay.
Jesse and those guys that have been hosting us every year that we've had the tournament, we raised double the amount of money that the Third Strike guys raised. So that's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were heavily involved with during. I just want to bring up the COVID stuff. The funny thing is we are the only country that didn't have COVID. So whenever anybody tells me about those 3 years, we didn't. I just went to the Netherlands this weekend, and everybody was talking about COVID. I don't know. We just didn't. Sweden didn't acknowledge it. So we never had. Nothing was canceled for us. So when you guys say the pandemic and stuff, it doesn't even like. It's so hard for me to wrap my head around that because we were the only country in Japan who didn't have. We didn't have a lockdown. We didn't have. We could just do whatever we want. It was free range. And so when you say, pandemic, then I got to think about, oh yeah, the 3 years of the online. So then I'm thinking in my head, my God, there must have been so much trolling during that time too. So all right, there's a question. Uh, you supposedly removed Base and Sans out of the community because you wouldn't let them come hang out. I wouldn't let. Yeah, what's up with that one? Yeah, is that okay? See,
Oh
I'm
man.
glad we're getting into this. All right, let's do it. And I've paused the chat like since there. I haven't really read it since. So Base has
Yeah.
said Drew
Um.
removed me and Sands out of the community because I wouldn't let him come hang out with me in Pittsburgh. Can you?
No. So,
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
like, yeah. That was one of those, like, was I like begging the dude to come hang out or go hang out? No. Um.
okay.
Like if there was like a quick stop somewhere, yeah, why not? It would have been fun, right?
Mhm.
I already knew the answer to that. It was more like for entertainment purposes.
Okay.
And listen,
Yeah.
after all that stuff happened, like the stuff about being removed from the Discord and
Mhm.
all that.
Mhm.
Um, I stepped down from moderating that Discord because of the blow up that happened. Um, there was talk about like there's that pow pow at the Madden tournament down in Florida.
Yeah, which he's
Um,
reading, which he's wrote about. Okay.
yeah, so, and like you recall his version of the event, he was saying it was very serious, and do we need to have some security? But there was also stuff like, oh well, in, this guy, like, he has a pretty nice sword collection. I wonder if he's going to bring anything with him. And this other guy, I'm purposely leaving names out of it, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's okay. That's fine. You
Um,
can. You have.
is he going to come is he going to come to Ohio strapped?
Okay.
And like, and I probably could have handled it a little bit more diplomatically,
Okay.
like I always could. But like there was, like that's something like not to joke about,
No,
not
I
to
get
take
it. I get it.
in jest.
I get it.
Yeah,
Okay. This is.
yeah,
But again, it can also be handled the wrong way, even though you're a diplomatic guy. It could
yeah,
be. It could be. Like there's ways to do things.
yeah.
All right. So when you step down from the server, okay, when you step down,
Yes.
did you kick him out and Sands and then step
No,
down?
it wasn't me. No, I did not. I did not kick them.
Okay. So there's something there too, which will, again, it's he said she said stuff, which is of course I get it. I mean, like there's heated stuff here. I get it. Okay. So all right. So Base never got kicked. Okay. So all right. He was mad. Okay. All right. You guys are going too fast for me. All right. Hold on a second. All right. We'll get to all that stuff, guys. If Drew wants to talk about it, we'll get to it. Okay. If he
Yeah,
doesn't, okay, it's
and
fine.
and really, the thing is, like, if there's peace to be made, I would like to make the peace with it.
Okay.
Like I don't have to be anybody's best
No,
friend.
I don't
You
think
know?
there's this. I don't think this is about peace. I don't think they
Yeah.
can be peace, but I think that I came up with a solution that could tie up, or not tie up, separate the okay. I want to bring. I
Well,
know. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
here's the overall deal. I
Yeah.
think that probably like the definitive way to say it. Like I'm 40 years old.
Okay.
Okay, you're 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy
Yep.
is
50 plus.
52.
Yeah. 52. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Based is like 45 now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like the majority of us. I mean, like Truku is still like in his early mid
Dude,
20s, and
he's like my kid's age. I love that kid
he's the
so
coolest
much.
he's the coolest
Yeah.
dude in the world.
He is
Like
amazing.
he came up to CKK, dude, with uh like he showed up one year with like a yellow Walkman and the old school
Dude,
headphones,
he's the nicest
and
guy
like
ever.
this is like he was born like 20 years too late. You know what I mean? Like he would have like the 80s and 90s would have been perfect for him. Like he is like he's a cool dude. I love the guy to death. He's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Um, but like anyway, the majority of us, man, like we're getting old. We're getting older. I'm not saying we're getting old. We're getting
Right.
older. We've moved like we've moved up in our lives in like financial standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We're in like career type jobs and things like that. And I'll be honest with you, summoning like
Mm-hmm.
looking over, having to, you know, look behind my virtual back
Yep.
constantly
Yep.
got old after a while. Um,
But you
like
still played the game.
still played the game.
That's the thing. You played the game. They knew you were playing the game. You were playing the game without them, and you think that was gonna help things? That's the
I don't
thing.
know. I
I
did.
don't. This is
Yeah.
where I wanted to really touch on this stuff. Some people follow you, which is fine. Fucking have a million people follow you. I'm all for that. Whatever. However, what's it called? If those players actually could join the Fightcade team, which because we could talk forever. I'm just saying you created something by shunning him out. Whatever you wanted to do, it's okay. Matt does the same thing. Shock, he does the same thing. Okay, it's fine. You do what you want to do, but these people there's people who think you're a community leader, which is fine. Like I said, it's fine.
And
Yes.
I don't know, like I don't know how I was made a community. Maybe it's because like I run the tournament. I don't know. I never asked to be a community leader.
Do you think that you are? That's the question.
I think I've been put in that position.
Okay.
Uh, and I'm not sure why. It's not like I'm not trying to exercise any authority with it. Like that kind of stuff doesn't matter to me. Like what I like to do is I like to get people together to play the game, and I like to get everybody offline playing
Okay.
together,
Okay.
once a year. And like that to me, that I look forward to that weekend every year. Like there's a lot of stress leading up
No, I
to
know that. I know
to
that there is.
2KK,
Yep.
but and you're always disappointed when people that you wish would show up, that like maybe said they would show up, but all of a sudden they're in the nether somewhere, that and you hear from them 2 weeks later, or the people that say, yeah, I'm thinking about coming. But like there's like the core of guys that always come, and I look forward to that. I look forward to meeting new people. I got to meet some new people this year. Look forward to seeing like the old guard, as it were, like the original, like the OGs of the Ohio tournament. Like it's hard to count 2021 because we were still right in the middle of a pandemic, and it was actually our smallest tournament yet.
Mhm.
But dudes like Dubson and Eddie, Draconian's been to all except for a couple. Like Dubson and Eddie weren't at the 2021 event, obviously, just because of everything going on. Like MK Arcade Source has been to several of them. Um, and, just getting to see those people in person and play in person, it's a totally different aspect. Like I'm gonna tell a personal experience of him, and I'm sure he'll be fine with it. I don't see him in the stream, but
Okay.
Sofa King or
Yeah, yeah.
Counter
He came
or
on the other day.
Burlock,
Yeah,
yeah.
he came on the other
So
day and he was saying stuff about Biggs, and I was like, dude, I was like, I respected what he said, whatever, but I'm not gonna. if someone just comes says stuff about somebody, I'm not gonna be like, yo, maybe you were right. He had his own personal experience with him. Maybe it wasn't good, but like
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
But no, and I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah,
But like
there's a lot of stuff. I know. There's so
yeah,
much shit. Yeah.
yeah. So Counterweight, his offline persona is totally different than his online persona.
I
Like
know
the
many
guy,
people like that, by the way. But
yeah,
anyway, go
the
ahead.
guy stayed at my house uh during the tournament.
Okay.
And like he was nice, he was super chill, he was cool. Like I wasn't nervous about the guy like staying in my house. Like
No, I
my
understand.
I had a cat who was like 9 months old at the time.
hmm
Like would not leave this dude alone. Like fell asleep with him Friday and Saturday night. I'm like, oh, it's great. Like my cat loves you. You can't be you can't be that bad of a dude, right? Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's
online, I mean, the guy will argue, like Johnny Cochran. Um, he argues like a lawyer online, and he doesn't stop, which is fine. It's just people do have different personas online and offline, and that's that's part of it. But what he was saying about Biggs and Biggs being bad for the community, like I don't mean to like step up and just like correct somebody like
hmm
on the spot, but that's not true. Like
yeah.
Biggs,
I mean, he
uh,
must have a personal. He must have lost him. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about either one of the players. Of
no,
course, I don't know
no,
them. He must something must have happened. Something must have happened, which
yeah.
some personal stuff. I don't
Like
know. That was a strange. But you wanted to
yeah,
talk. Everyone could say something.
because
That's
like yeah,
fine.
Biggs is a good guy. Like he stayed at the house here for the 2021 event.
Yeah, he seems like a good
I'm
guy.
like he and I engaged in some friendly trash talk like at like the 2018 event because he wasn't there in 2018,
Okay.
but he was in 2019. But like he had some trash talk. Me and him had some trash talk going back and forth in 2018, both at the Ohio tournament and during Summer Jam. And then we actually faced each other in 2019. I beat him, and I don't think I've taken a set from him online or offline since. And he just ran through everybody in 2021. So
Yep.
maybe I just make players better summoning. I don't know because the
Okay. Well.
same thing happened with Cienfuegos. Like I beat him in 2018, and
Okay.
then I beat him in 2018 in the grand finals at the little side tournament we had
All right.
in at uh, where's that at Summer Jam,
Mm-hmm.
and then I haven't beaten him online or offline since.
Yeah,
So
that yeah, that could happen. But now let me ask you one more thing. Bring up this I Wells guy. Why is he? I have no idea who that is, but he seems to be a big thing. So they say you took his community. How?
I don't know any part about that.
Okay.
I was not one of the first people to the Discord. I was not one of the first people. Like I wasn't one of the first people to anything. Like Test Your Might had been running and well established by the time I got there.
Okay.
The Skype group, I might have been I might have been one of the first few in that group. I was never super active in it,
Okay.
but like I mostly used Skype to I talked a lot. Talked a lot back in the day, prior to 2019 with base. That's like the only way that I know of how to talk to NWO. That's where a lot of the main matches and stuff were brokered was through that Skype
Skype.
chat.
Okay.
So like the Discord, like I came in when it was relatively small. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the first one there. The Facebook group, like I resisted the Facebook group for a long time just
Okay.
because that's personal info. Like
Okay.
all you got to do is like click on the person's avatar, view profile, and it's like,
Yep.
oh great, like what are they gonna find to try to use this time?
Right. Okay. No, I get
So I was
that.
one of the
I get
last
that.
ones to that.
Okay.
I don't know who started it. I don't know, like, I didn't know that IWell started it.
Okay,
Um,
so you didn't know that. So that you guys are being kind of accused by for taking his group. Maybe you didn't know it. I don't know. It looks like it's a topic. Okay.
yeah. I mean, like,
So
I never had any problem, with IWell. He was, kind of like
He's still in, they say? He's still the main guy in this admin thing
I have
now?
no idea.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, like he and I, like we had our trash talk,
Okay.
but like we played. We've only played a couple sets together.
Okay. So
But
you do have it in you though, man. You do have
oh
this.
yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind some friendly trash talk. Like I try to leave like personal stuff out of it. So like a good little like example of that, right? We are like digging in to my cousin one night, and like everybody's kind of giving it to each other. It's like it's me, my cousin, um, one of actually both of my me and both of my cousins. Like I have two cousins. That's it. Small
Mhm.
family.
Mhm.
Me and two of my cousins and my two uncles are just sitting there hanging out, and we're just trash talking each other. It's fun.
Okay.
We're just having a good time. Well, somebody starts talking about something my cousin doesn't really care for, and like you can tell he's just kind of starting to shut down, you know. And I say something, I don't even remember what I said that rubbed
Mhm.
him the wrong way, but he walks over to me. And we were sitting down. He gets up, he walks over to me, and he's like, "Oh yeah? Well, how about out of the two of us, I've never been divorced." I'm like, dude, you're talking to a room full of like three of the five people in here have been divorced.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's not my fault. You're 33. You've never been married.
Mhm.
And you got to be married to get divorced first, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's true.
everybody has their breaking point, and when you see somebody approach that breaking point, like you have one of two options. When you're not in front of somebody, it's very easy, right, to just keep digging in and keep digging in and watch them melt down and like and enjoy the dumpster fire that ensues. When you're in person with somebody, you
Yeah.
don't really enjoy so much seeing the meltdown,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That's
you might take a few steps back.
yeah. Yeah. In person, you can really feel out the situation. Online,
Yeah.
it's like anything goes. All right. So yeah, I'm just we're touching on stuff. There's another thing. There's so Biggs and you well, actually, sorry, Biggs said in CKK 2019 it was decided there was no more base. Okay, in my if I interpret that, that means he's been canceled. Okay.
Well, and that's a subset. That's the core of a subset of people, and you can ask any of that group of people
Hmm.
since 2019. And I'm not throwing anybody under the
No,
bus
that's
here.
okay. You could do.
I'm just stating
Yeah,
it.
you can. Yeah, it's fine.
You ask any of those guys, have you talked to base since 2019? Have you played a set with base since 2019? Over half of them are going to say yes.
Yes, but they played sets with him not knowing it was him and then figuring out it was him, right?
Or who knows? They might have known darn well it
But
was him.
this is where,
It's usually not hard to figure out
well, yes.
after like the second or third match, like Shiva or Cabal starts coming out and he's punching that imaginary ghost in the air
Hmm.
over and over again.
Hmm.
Um, that's
Which is a way to play the game. I mean, it is a way.
yeah,
It's in the
yeah,
game. But
yeah.
the thing is, this is one of the core points I wanted to get into. So
Hold on,
you
but before you
yes,
go to
sure,
that,
sure, 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 sure. Go ahead.
it w-
There's a lot of
so
stuff coming. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's like I did quit out once I figured out it was base, but it was wild. Like the dude was doing like high level combos. Like normally, like base with his cabal does like the 5 hit combo,
Hmm.
the jump in kind of deeper.
He's the best
Yeah,
normals player in the game, by the
yeah.
way.
The
He's
like
the
the jump
best.
in high kick to end the combo for free rush
He's the
and all
best.
that stuff. And if he does a like a punch start like a jump punch starter combo,
Hmm.
it's always the 3 hit
Yeah,
pop up
because he
combo
doesn't he
following.
doesn't do combos.
Right,
The
right.
guy
Well, this
is
time
yeah.
he
This stuff
was
he knows
he
them.
was.
He doesn't do them, but he knows them sometimes. Yes,
Right.
go
So
ahead.
so
Yes.
it was like 9-7, 9-8 or something like that. And it's Shiva and I lose round 1 and then like there's no block. I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like Shiva going for the baby. Well, I turn it around and I end up babying Shiva
Okay.
with human smoke. And it's like, I'm proud of you, Drew. I'm like, God, who is this? It's
Right.
like it's your buddy Ben or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I know that,
Um,
but I know. Okay, this is
maybe it was like 9-6 or something.
okay.
It
Okay.
was,
When you quit on somebody, when I was a kid too, you just take the fucking beating, dude. Whatever. I know you don't want to deal with it. I know you don't want to deal with it. But like you just take the you just I never rage quit on anybody. That's a rage quit. You got mad because of your own personal things. Nothing against that.
no,
But that's
it wasn't even like I wasn't mad. It was like I
but
don't
that's
play it.
but yeah, I know, but that's the thing. So
Yeah,
you
I won and quit. So
yeah,
it wasn't exactly a rage quit. It
if
was a
you were
very
but
well
you
it
didn't
was
win the 10 though. You won
no, you're
9.
right. And I quit out before we got to 10. It was more like a, you know, it was more like a, like a righteously indignant quit, not a
Yeah,
rage
but
quit.
that's like a loss. Like in like in all fairness, like when you quit on a game in the
Really quit.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean,
let's
I get it, right?
yeah.
I get it. But like, so yeah, anyway, go
All
on.
right. So let's get into this. So you just said you were kind of like the appointed community leader. You never asked to be, right?
No, didn't
Okay.
ask to be.
And
And there are
yes.
others that I feel that do a better job with things than I do. As far as like it, like the Facebook, the group chat, the Facebook group,
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Well,
Like I
so
feel there's guys that do a better job of that. Like my thing is I do my best to put together a tournament that people can come together and
okay.
enjoy. And if being a TO makes me a leader somehow, I guess I'm a leader in the community, but it's not something that I sought out.
Right, but here's the point that I was getting to before. Since
All right.
you are a leader, even if you weren't appointed to be one or one of the leaders or whatever it is, people know your status and your standing on base prior to today. Okay, prior
Hmm.
to today, everyone who knows you knows that you don't want anything to do with him. And obviously, if you're a leader, there's going to be some people who follow that. And then you guys are going to be a segregated part of this community, whether you think so or not. You guys are absolutely labeled, even by me, as the Ohio guys. You just don't want any
No,
part.
well,
I,
and
I, I'm
that
I'm
and
just saying.
that's not right.
Yeah,
You're wrong.
but I know I'm
I
wrong.
will.
I know
Yeah,
that I'm wrong
you
about
are
this.
completely wrong.
Yes, but people follow a leader. So there's people who follow you and decide to cancel base also, and
Nobody's
all
canceled base.
he's been canceled, man. Okay? He has been he's always going to be there. He's always in your head. But the fact of the matter that this guy he's put money into the tournament. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fucking tough dude, man. There's tough dudes out there. He has done below the belt stuff which he has admitted to me that he doesn't want to do anymore. But
Well,
yes,
and that's
yes.
fine and good that he has admitted that he doesn't want to do it anymore.
But no,
I would
I'm
like.
not saying he's going to stop doing like a lot of stuff. I'm saying
Mhm.
he might stop really doing crazy stuff because we know what
Yeah.
people could do. People could do nuts stuff. I mean, like I said, people broke into my cars and stuff, dude. I think
Yeah.
and someone said that he's credit card frauding and stuff. That's worse
No,
than that's a
that's
very bad thing to say about somebody. Even though he could make a fucking picture of you, say some stuff, but like saying that he's
yeah,
committing an illegal
some
fraud,
kind
yeah.
of anti-Semitic stuff too,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah. I know
and
that's
then there was
bad too. I know that's bad too.
when Li Joe when Joe got COVID, like right at the beginning of COVID,
Hmm.
like that spoof account of me went on there like blasting him for having COVID. And like I had to reach out to him personally, be like, Joe, that was not me. Like I hope you realize that was not me because like there were people like getting pissed
Oh
in
yeah,
the Twitter
there's so
comments.
much FGC stuff, dude. Like, there's so many. I mean, at least the MK community isn't as bad. Our little community isn't as bad as what's going on. I don't even want to
And
go there. Yeah, yeah,
let me say this:
yeah.
from the beginning of CKK all the way through to this point,
Hmm.
and but even when it was Get It in Ohio, all the way to now when it's CKK,
Okay.
nobody has ever been banned from the event. Nobody.
Well, if Base showed up, would you guys have played him? I don't think you would have.
I would not listen.
Yep.
I mean, one, I know he's not going to show up,
Oh,
right?
he could.
So like,
He has shown
no,
up though. He has
he
shown.
had shown up, but he wasn't showing up. But regardless, okay, you know,
Why
it would
would
have it
why
would
wouldn't
have
he show up though? I'm just asking. Why would you think he wouldn't show up? He showed up at our event, man. He showed up. I give
I
him
don't know.
I
I
give
don't
him
know.
so much dude. He showed up
I
to the
can't
Lions
I can't
Den.
speculate. I can't. Well, the Lions Den now have sharper teeth and PG
I get it, but do you think that's
and
the reason why he ain't coming? He was shut out of this. He had a hobby. He was playing, and all of a sudden, no one wants to play him.
well, and
I'm
for
not
good reason.
defending him, but yes, good reason. That's
Right.
fine. But while you guys indirectly canceled the guy, because you have made a rift. You have made a rift in this. I know
I
you
have
didn't.
not.
I know.
I
Not you,
I
sorry,
personally
not
have not.
you, but the rest of the guys who follow you. So obviously the leader gets kind of blamed for that. It doesn't mean you directly had a fucking meeting like, we're going to cancel this guy. Well, they said that you guys made a cancellation thing in 2019. I want you to get into that. Did people actually, like, say no more base? Because it was written.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Like, I last thing, truthfully, Nit, the last
Okay, yep.
thing I wanted to come on here and do was talk over and over and over about one guy or a
No, we're gonna get
um,
past it. But it's a very
yeah,
sticky point.
and the thing
It
is, like,
really is.
yeah, it's and the reason, like, I don't talk about some of the other people's some other people's experiences with him that I've heard is because it's not my place to talk about it, right?
Okay. Yep.
Anybody that wants to come on and talk about, I'm sure that you will give them a voice just like you've given us a voice so far, right?
Yes. Oh, and I
Um,
want to say one thing. I commend you over one of my best friends who won't even freaking. Matt's one of my best friends. Okay, I don't know. We have. I don't know if we're arguing right now or whatever, but like,
yeah,
he will not. He will. He's one of the great players of the game. He should just come back and play with us. Okay. He won't even. I commend you for what you're doing. Okay. You might not have done the most best stuff. Base might not have done all the best stuff, but at least you're here, okay? Matt won't even give me the time of the day, and he always acts like, I've told you this for 15 years, and I'm like, dude, I don't know any of the history. All I hear is a blank statement, and like, I'm supposed to remember that statement because it's like getting to the equals of the equation, but I have no idea what the equation is. So he's like, I told you
well,
this, and I'm like, I don't know any of it. So, and then you guys act, not you, sorry. Then he acts like
yeah.
I'm trying to defend him. I don't know the story. I just hear you shouldn't be doing that because I told you this in 2019 that he can't be doing this, and I'm like, okay, all right. So I also I'm really thankful for you to talk a lot about him. I know you didn't want to do that. Let's bring up the final. Like it's not going to end really quickly, but there's stuff that I want to bring up that I think this could help. Okay, and
Okay.
something. So I think that your team, which you have a team, you have to admit, should acknowledge and should come on Fightcade and should get beat or beat people. You guys are not on Fightcade. You're just
I'm
not.
on Fightcade. You can find me on Fightcade 3 or 4 nights a week.
Okay, I know the time zone is different. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
oh
like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but
Like
like the
not like
rest
you,
of
but like the
yeah, you
royal
don't
you.
have to
Yeah.
come on my time. But like, I've heard that the guys that you play with, like Dobson and all those, they don't really play as actively as we do. And if you have a say, if you can get the guys on, I know that they like
There
Mame
are
and
there are some excellent guys that play on Fightcade now. Like you'll okay like Dubson and I have just missed each other by like an hour or two a couple nights over the past couple weeks. Like Draconian occasionally gets on there. GSP gets on there. I'm in so deep is on there.
right.
Truku is on
Right.
there.
But I think yeah,
Uh,
actually Base said it. Base said it correctly. Actually, the people who don't like him should go on and play. And that's a group, by the way. It's a group of guys who don't like the guy. It's fine not to like him. Don't have to. But let's come on and let's just play. Let's get
And
can we get back to
that's
just
like
playing? Yeah.
I can't force anybody to play with a certain person or a certain group of people. Like I can't force people to
But
do
if
that.
you are some kind of a leader, you could be like, all right, let's just drop the shit with him. He's gonna do what he does. Let's just play. Let's go out and win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This
and
is gonna get more people to play our game. That's who cares. I care because I want people to play this game. No, it's not. It's not Biggs. I'm telling you, dude. It's not fabricated. There's an actual rift in this community because of base, and I don't want it to happen anymore. I just want people to play. I swear to all you guys, it is absolutely a thing. Because if I'm coming on per night, and I know my time zone is a mess. That I know. If I'm coming on, I know no one cares about playing on Fightcade Bigs, but Fightcade is all we got.
we got
It's
MAME.
Yeah,
We
but
got
it's harder.
Alera.
It's harder. Yeah, but no one's gonna go on there. And the
It's
connection.
well the plug and play convenience factor of Fightcade. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. We got to go with
It
the
really
easier.
drives
Yes.
it I don't want to say it actively discourages MAME, but it's gonna bring a lot more people in than MAME does. And like I play on both. Admittedly, I play more on Fightcade right now
Okay.
than MAME because a lot of the guys that I play with that I would prefer to play with, like if we were gonna play on MAME,
Hmm.
they want to play 60 frames.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's. Oh.
I can't deal with that
No,
60 frame
I
stuff.
can't. I can't either. But all right. So okay. My whole thing is, and we're gonna. I want people to play on Fightcade. I know people don't like it. Like for example, Biggs is like screw Fightcade. Well, Fightcade is the easiest. We can admit that Fightcade is the easiest place everybody can just meet up and just like play, right? It
It
might
is,
not
and
be.
but the problem with it, honestly, is um, it runs like the Capcom games
Okay.
really well. The Fightcade guys and the FB Neo devs, the FB Neo being the emulator that runs, behind the front end that is Fightcade. Uh, they I now this is just hearsay, but I heard somebody say, well, yeah, the Fightcade devs just they don't like Midway games. They don't care about Mortal Kombat. So the emulation of the MK games and the Midway games in general is not as efficient. So you can take an older computer, an older laptop or something, and it'll run like Alpha 3 just fine, right? But it won't it'll run Mortal Kombat 2 UMK3 like a slideshow. But, you got these 10, 11, 12-year-old computers that will run MAME without a hiccup.
Right.
And,
Right.
so like steeper system requirements, that can drive people away. That can kind of sour the convenience factor.
Right. Okay. So here we go. Now here's where it's getting deep on the chat. I I I understand bigs and I understand base. Okay. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to uncancel the canceled stuff. And you may not think people are canceled. People don't play. They don't go online. Let's take Shock for example. He will not play. He will not go online. He will not even acknowledge base, and he's one of the we lost the guy who could play us on Fightcade at night, even though he hates online. We lost the guy. Okay, we lost him. I everything. I didn't even bring. I gave Drew mad credit today. Shock, I'm not giving credit to. Shock won't even come on. He's done. He is done. I'm just saying we lost players because of this thing. Let's try to bring them back. Let's try to bring everyone back. And I have a solution. I have yeah, we have lost players because you guys play on a we don't get to see you guys. Yeah, you see what I
Oh,
mean?
you read are you reading the chat? It's
Yeah,
wild.
it is. It is. And I'm glad there's testosterone in the chat, dude. We lost Shock. We lost all the guys who associate with Shock. They
Well,
will
and
yeah.
there were a lot of guys that don't like that up in New York like that don't like to play online. Like Shock, I've played a couple sets with him online, and it was fine. It was fine.
Yep.
I've played like 2 sets with Phil online. Like Phil,
Yeah, we lost a lot of
Phil's a great
players.
dude,
Yeah, he is.
and
He is.
you
I
know
talked to him
I don't
recently.
know that we've ever gotten to try Fightcade, but we played on MAME. There was like a new version of MAME that came out, and there was this like script you had to run. Like Phil wrote a script to like make Juggernaut's hack playable like with this new MAME because there was it took a couple of delay frames out by default. I don't remember the specifics,
Hmm.
but Phil did a lot of work on that, and everybody was into it for like a week. So
Well, I mean, listen, we did. I'm telling you, Biggs may not believe it, but we did lose a lot of players, and there are actual sides to this that people just play on MAME. They don't even come on Fightcade. It is because of base, okay? It is. It needs to be acknowledged. Biggs is like, who cares? I'm telling you, Biggs. I'm telling you, dude. I've played this game for the last 3 years. There are people who won't even play anymore because base is on. And we are so used to guys like this. Just let's play the game. I mean, yes, okay, yes, the 60 FPS is a thing, but there are players who just won't play. Matt included. He's a huge part of this. Drew wouldn't even acknowledge him, and I understand you guys. It was tough. Now you're coming out of your shell a little bit. And I ain't defending anyone here. I just want to play the game. So what I wanted to propose, and we should finish off with this because there's so many topics, is the online tier list. I know this. This I want to bring up. Somebody posted, and it was probably base or somebody, and I swear on my kids, I didn't know if it was a troll post, and I was like, this is brilliant. I was like, why don't we make an actual list of players without faces, just the fucking names, and give them a ranking with like one guy on Drew's team, because yes, Drew, you have a team. You
do
have
I
a
have a team?
yes,
I'm
you
not.
are a leader. Leaders have a team. So if you have
What
five guys, if
name them so I shall name them
okay,
so I may
so
assemble them.
I'm thinking that I don't know. Okay, honestly, I think like you, maybe Dobson. I don't know. Never met either one of you guys. Let's say the guys, on the Cincinnati guys who came to your little thing. That I call
Came
it.
to my little thing, my 31 person
Yes,
tournament in
sorry, your
2014.
thing.
Yes.
Yes, your
Yes.
tournament. Excuse me. That I didn't mean to say little. Your tournament. I would say that's one group of players. Okay, I would say me and Jimmy and my Fightcade guys are another group of players. Let's say that you have Matt and stuff, and that was another group of players. There's a whole bunch of other kids. There's whole bunches of people. We're all segregated. We are. We're all in different. If we all could come on
Clicks.
Fightcade,
Clicks.
if we
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, and everything that has any kind of social aspect of it, obviously, is going to have its clicks. You're going to have people that you prefer to play. You're going to have people that you know their play style. Drac and I go back to 2013.
Okay.
Okay, like me and Eddie and Dubson, we go back to like 2014 for a while. And I kind of miss the guy. He hasn't been, I haven't talked to him in a while. Demonocris back like 2014, 2015. Whole bunch of those guys, like we all played together. We kind of came up. Like I know like Dubson got a start way before I did. Most of these guys got their start well before I did. But like we all kind of found each other on PSN. Like I started playing with Biggs on PSN, and like it was like, oh cool, like Biggs, Draconian, Dubson and Eddie and Chris are all online. I'm gonna invite them to play and see which one I can get some matches with first.
Right.
Uh, it's so like there's gonna be that, like, he was there from the beginning of when I started this. So yeah, I'm gonna, like, there might be some preference there,
Right.
and
But
I don't see anything wrong with it.
but there is players who actually actively don't want to play him. And that's kind of what makes all this stuff, and Biggs might not know, but yeah, people care. I want more people to play the game. It's the game that we love to play. I'm not saying Biggs doesn't know. Of course I know he knows his stuff. I know. I have not put yeah.
Absolutely big no stuff. Biggs has Tat chart.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have nothing against the guy. I think he's saying very accurate stuff.
Oh,
But
and he
but
took he took that TED chart and he dedicated some time to learning the game
mhm.
and just started running people over.
No, that's
And
listen.
that's good. Some people might say that's bad for the community somehow, but
But
like
there are players who, and he doesn't think so. Biggs doesn't think so. But I'm telling you that there is definitely a cancellation of player. We should all be on Fightcade, and if you guys are good, like let's say Biggs and all those guys are really good, and they could beat up everybody. Fucking do it. Who cares if the platform's bad? It's the only platform that can actually get everybody together, and you can change names, whatever you want to do. But we could actually make our own. I care because that leaves less players for me to play, Biggs. I swear to you, it's not about the time zone. I can't even find the player to play if base is on, and base has to be on. Yeah, the community, it's split. It is. It is. Yeah, but they don't play because he's there. It bothers me. It
find
does.
name for me somebody that will not log on to Fightcade because base is on Fightcade.
Matt, Shock. Many people.
Shock wouldn't get on to Fightcade anyway because
No,
he knows.
he would be. He played me on Fightcade. There's footage of it. It's not because he knew me. I was in
Well,
Sweden.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
we played on Fightcade too a
Yeah,
couple
he's
sets.
gone because of base. He's gone. Okay? There's many people more like that. I don't know you guys as well, but I read my chat. I know people. What's his name? Base. What the hell? The biggest Goku. He don't play because of base. Okay? And we just Goku Ren. CD Senior. Yes. There you go. See, there are people who don't play because of him. There are. So Biggs, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna force people to play. This is not what I mean. No, 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 no. I want everyone to play. Yes, Lex is another one too. Thank you guys. That's because of base. It is the whole community, and I'm not blaming you for this, Drew. I'm not blaming. There's a lot of people who stopped play. Lex also doesn't want to play base, Biggs. I've talked to him recently. He don't. He only wants to play friends. No, he didn't quit because of base. He doesn't want to play him.
And look, if the thing is if a dude wants to only play against his friends, like we
Nothing
can't
about it. Power to the guy. But
we can't force him.
this community has been segregated, and it not only by you, by even by base. Let's say by him too, because he's a tougher player to play or whatever it is, and he does weird stuff, and people are like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna play this game anymore. Of course you want to, and then you start doing side games, and then then you're getting people to play the game on some way that we all can't play together. Like I would love to have everyone on Fightcade. I can stream it. You guys can stream it. I'll come onto your streams, whatever. But we could make a yeah. Okay. Well, Jimmy's got his points. Everyone's got their stuff. But I'm saying that I think if we can get everybody on Fightcade and put an actual rating on each other, and
Well,
then
and
yes, go ahead.
let,
You
let
needed
me
to
stop
talk
you
about
there.
this. You can go. You could tell me
Yeah,
why you think.
so
Okay.
like let me ask you something.
Yes.
In your days of playing at the arcade,
Mhm.
okay?
Yep.
Did a dude ever like, it's like you guys were pretty much all in the city, and I think from some of our conversations, dude was like you were kind of like like into metal, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. All right, so a rival or just some other dude that you played against, did they ever like walk in like cowboy boots and a flannel shirt and maybe some makeup or dress up like pretending to be somebody else to get you to play with them?
Well,
No,
I
right?
no, but I know why
No.
he does it because he wants to
Right.
play people. And yeah, he wants to be validate people. Fine. That's what he wants to do.
Well, and the thing is, like,
Yep.
you don't like for the and I understand a little bit of the argument as to why people like you know the random like what was it like critical race theory the other day, BLP kosher. I mean, like, do like I said, like there's like I don't think I have as many pair of underwear in my closet as the guy has different usernames on Fightcade. Um, and so like guys don't want to play because like okay I don't want to play him, but this guy like oh look it's like Te underscore Drusus wants to fight me. Oh cool, I'll fight Drew. It's not me, right?
Yeah.
And so that could drive people away. Like I'm just kind of like speculating, I guess, but like that could drive people away. Like one account, and if somebody doesn't want to play you, then
Well, here's the thing. Yes, I agree. We did weird stuff like that. We would have lesser players. Yeah, we would. Jimmy's completely right. We would put our lesser guys versus guys who came in just so they stayed at the arcade. Do you know what I mean? We did that. We were bad too. Believe me, we were like, oh my god, we got like six new dudes in who come in, and they would just lose bad to like one of us back in the day, and they would leave. We couldn't have them leave. You know what I mean? We couldn't have them leave. We needed players. We were desperate. And
right.
and like Biggs might not know, but like I'm telling you, 7 names were just mentioned who don't play because of him. He's like, name one. We just named like 7 or whatever it was, 5. Yes, there is players who don't play because of him. Okay, and okay, doesn't matter what he did, whatever. No, you didn't say one name, but they were just said. Lex, Shock, Goku, Ren. Uh,
I thought those two made their piece.
they have CD Senior. They don't play. Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, no, people care. I care. I miss those players, man. I love. I'm telling you, I miss all those guys. I know nobody cares about me either. I don't care about people caring about me. CD's segregated. Also, he plays the 60 FPS guys because of the lag. All right. Anyway, so I do care. I wanted to make an online tier list, not to troll people, dude. I just wanted to make a tier list, so maybe people wanted to climb in on it and get more people involved. You know what I mean? Let's just get like people back on Fightcade, which is probably the most easiest accessible platform, right? Can we agree on that at least? Drew, what do you
Yeah.
think? Fightcade's the easiest platform for even noobs to come on. Like for
It's the
example, yes, go ahead. Yes.
yeah. It's like I said, it's the easiest. It's as far as the plug and play convenience of it. Like you open up Fightcade, I think there's some like JavaScript that you can run that when you add a lobby that it downloads the ROM and puts it
Yes,
in
I have
your
that now.
code, stuff like that.
Yes, it's amazing.
So yeah, and that's nice.
Yeah. It's
Uh, the only potential hurdle is um, like the what do they call it? The opportunity cost. Is that what they call it? Um,
yeah.
where you're gonna have to go out and get something that's fairly decently spec'd in order to play the MK games on Fightcade.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but it's the easiest. It's the easiest. You see all the
yeah,
tension in here. You see the tension in the,
yeah,
in the scene already. You see it. It's all on there. Okay. I'm not saying the tension will never end, but if we're all on Fightcade, if we all had like a ranking, I'm just trying to be friendly. Have a friendly. This isn't about trolling anybody. Whatever. Have a friendly like rating system, and like we could like get matches versus each other. We can get pissed off at each other. What else could we do nowadays? We can't
so
have
so
online events. Yes.
here's what it comes down to, and it's kind of hard for me to formulate any kind of online tier list because I have said this for years that it's very tough to use online play as a true factor of skill because I think there is some skill involved, but there's a lot of things that can go on um, that can alter that or adversely affect it. Like the best gauge of skill is offline matches, right?
Right, but we can't
So
do that in 2023. We
you're
just can't do it. You know? That's the thing. We can do it in an event planned
yeah,
and then
and
but what do we do for the rest? I mean, people want we can't do it offline. We,
well, first
it's
off, you
very
have to
difficult.
you have to get people that are willing. Okay, like if you're gonna do it right, you have to get people that are willing, and the people that don't want to be a part of it, you have to get them off that list. Okay,
Right.
like you can't have Shock on that list because Shock doesn't play online.
Right, but this is the next thing. I was 100,000% on offline only. Like this doesn't
Yeah,
even count. Well, we can't do that anymore. We can't. You just got to be able to just come online and just log in. And if you beat somebody and you beat them because of lag, okay, that sucks, but you did win, whatever. I mean, some of the matches are decently playable. And if you go in and you're better than a guy, you should be able to beat him online and offline. Yes, it's closer in person. For example, Truku and me are one of the best examples. I played him all weekend. He didn't kill me as badly as he does online. He'll be the first to admit it. It was much closer offline. I get that. But it's like, how can we get these players all together one event per year, two events per year? It's hard for people to have the money to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's try to
I
get
agree.
everyone back together somehow. That's
Well,
all I'm saying.
and there's people that don't want to. They don't want to have their name on something, and I get that because maybe they are a much better player offline than they are online. And the other thing, right? Okay,
Yep.
uh, the pictures. That's how you know it's a troll post because like it's a picture of me like from Facebook.
No, no, I told him no pic. I said no. I said no pictures. I said make a name, make a name list, a nice clear name list with a
Yeah,
S to a D
and
rating, which
and,
I which
and
yeah.
Jimmy, I agree with you 100%. Like I would crap my pants trying to figure out how to run 100-person tournament.
Hmm.
Okay, but I would absolutely like the more the merrier. Like I,
But it's
100 people
hard when
show
you
up.
have people kind of like okay, Base might not come to that because he feels like maybe yeah, it's not yeah, COVID did change stuff to offline, but like if we could make an online if we could make an online if we could make an online ranking and just like have people come on and I know Biggs might think it's not a big deal, whatever. It's just fun, man. It's just to get a lot of people. A lot of people are not on because of base. I just mentioned 6 or 7 names. It's a thing, you know. If it wasn't a thing, it would be a lot more fun. And I know it might sound like a little kid. I am a little kid. I love this stuff, man. I love this game. The drama is so real, though. You know. How much did base pay who? I'm sorry, I'm so lost.
The
Oh,
thing is,
yeah,
like I told you in our conversation
yeah,
before, like
yeah.
I'm just not gonna get involved in an online tier list because,
Okay.
like, within that tier list, you're gonna have people that might only play each other a couple times a year. You might get a
Then
couple
they get to
people that
rank
play
up a
each
little
other
bit during that time.
weekly.
They stay. So let's say you don't want to be part of it, and you're just your name was in there, and you were a D player. Okay, let's just say you are. You don't
Okay.
want any part of it. If you want to be a
I mean,
C player, you got to beat some guys.
I
We'll
mean, like
we'll
I yeah, I mean, like I don't
then
care
you'll remain. It's
where I
not about
rank.
you. It's not about you. It's not about you caring.
Right.
It's about we have a list together. And look, Base actually played Drew. Wow, that's cool. I want to play Drew one day. And then the dude's, oh, how do I get on this list? I know this sounds very like children-ish. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff about Detroit Ball. Don't even get me started about him because I went in and talked to everybody, all the top. Listen, I'm glad he brought up Detroit Ball. I used to think, and I still think, he's probably one of the best players. But he's a keyboard player. And then I went on to the Discord of Lex before he disbanded it, whatever, and he's like, I'll never acknowledge a keyboard player because it's unfair advantage. So I was like, okay. So he's like, yeah, because you can't do that stuff in the arcade. So, because yeah, you know, you can't hold back and forward at the same time. You know what I mean? You could do that on a keyboard, that type of thing. So I
Yeah,
didn't
but
think about that.
you can't do walking spears on a keyboard because of the SOCD cleaner.
Oh yeah, they fixed that, but you can
Yeah.
do certain things that you can't do with you can do certain things on the keyboard that you can't do with a stick, and that's kind of what Lex was saying. And I think yeah, I think Lex is also takes things a little bit too personal.
Yeah, he kicked me out of his old guys chat.
Yeah, he does take things. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I think we're kind of digressing, but so Jimmy said,
yeah.
to me, I will say, blah, 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 blah. We
Hmm.
need to figure out how to make peace in the universe and get everybody competing. And I can't speak for I can't speak for everybody else. Okay, like my thing would be you draw a line at the bottom of that chat that Jimmy just sent that said, get, figure out how to make peace in the universe and get everybody competing. I don't know that everybody can do it, but you draw a line at the bottom of that
Yeah.
and you start over. You start over. You don't no more no more bringing up basically no more bringing up the past. Like the past is the past. If you don't want to engage in it anymore, stop bringing it up.
Right. Okay. Fine. Like if we do that, if we don't bring it up anymore, you got to actively be on, play, and take the matches. I think not we. I think that a lot of players are not accessible. I even ask Truku at night. Sometimes there's not a lot of people on. Okay, if they don't want to play, fine, whatever. But I would love to make like a time zone, even if it's your time zone, some kind of list of just to get players to play again, just to get this game that we all love back on the map without, yeah, see, they're talking about, yeah, Arion's connection on MAME. This is the kind of things like this. Fightcade is better for connections and stuff. Can't we get these players on and just talk our shit online and just sign off, man? You know what I'm saying? Like instead of this whole, yeah, Jimmy's agreeing with you. Let's everybody, yeah, he's right. I mean, see how much stuff there is? There's so many topics. There's so much stuff. Let's make one day a holiday where everyone gets to bring the pay. Yeah.
Everybody gets to bring up the past.
Yeah, it's good.
I've got the thing is like I don't want to bring it up because
well, I brought it up today because I asked Base to bring it up, and I asked you to.
I'm past the past transgressions. Like,
okay, great.
It is what like now there's a difference between forgiving things or forgetting about things or actively not recalling things and letting yourself get walked over, or being a pushover. So that there's the idea that if you're going to put something behind you, and if that everybody's going to put something behind them, that it's actually behind them and you don't look back at it and you don't bring it up.
Right, but I think
I don't even want to list the past transgressions.
Yeah. I just think that to move on. I mean, Biggs is saying nobody cares and stuff. I mean, I think people care. I think if we could all get on Fightcade and all just play each other and yes, there's, like I said, an active group of guys I just mentioned again. I don't want to say it again, who don't play because of base and they don't play because of this or they don't play because of that. But if we all could play, if we all could just somehow play, okay. For example, you playing base again would be great. Play the 10 matches, lose, tip your cap, whatever. Win, lose, whatever. If he gets mad, let him. Let him. You won. The match replay will be on Fightcade. Here's the proof. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? Stuff like that. It's nice to just come on and play. I mean, yeah, dude, I can't beat base at all. I can't do it. Jimmy tried to beat base. We couldn't do it. What are we going to do?
That's the thing, though. Like,
we can't do it.
Jimmy, if you're going to make it the past, everybody's got to make it the past.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to make it the past.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, he's F minus here. Yeah, both of us suck. Actually, I'm gonna put Jimmy above me nowadays. I can't even play any of these games anymore. But
dude, Jimmy bodied me at MK2 at
yeah, he's good
at Summer Jam. Yeah, and Mike Metroid bodied me. And now in the past 4.5 years, I feel like I've gotten a good bit better at MK2.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my experience as a UMK3 player translates pretty well to Scorpion.
Okay.
But Scorpion kind of sucks anyway.
Yeah.
But
he's pretty good in Ultimate if you know how to play him. He sucks, yes, but he's pretty okay. I mean, he's okay. I mean, he's like he's not Liu Kang okay. Like I call Liu Kang the ultimate mid tier because he can just win any match at any time. But anyway, Scorpion, I've seen some dominant Scorpion players. But anyway, so all right, so we got a lot done today. Okay, we got a lot done, and I really appreciate you being on. I do. It's midnight.
I am glad that you had me on.
I really wanted to have you on. I had Base on. I really wanted to have you on. And I have a couple of requests. I think that if you have some community leadership, which I think you do, even though you don't want that role, tell these guys to come online, man, and just play. If base is around, send him challenge, whatever. Like, okay, if he
I'm
trolls
not.
them, he does. I mean, let's just try to get people to play on Fightcade because I think it's the only platform, not the only, but the easiest platform for even a new guy to just play the game, and let's not scare them away.
Yeah, yeah. So real quick,
Yes, go
uh,
ahead. You can
Surf
say what you
Shack,
want. Yes.
Surf Shack Tito Soprano. He caught some feelings, I guess, over
Okay. Put it.
MK2 and
Yes.
MK1,
Put it
and
out there. I'm still here.
and
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, and that was my bad.
Okay.
So a couple moving parts unfortunately crapped the bed.
Okay.
I was
I'm still
supposed
listening. I'm
to
just
get
grabbing some water. Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
I was supposed to receive in the mail. Someone told me 10 days before the event that they had sent it to me. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna
I
name
know
names.
who that is, but anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Uh, Someone had said to me they were sending me a few pieces of equipment so I was going to be able to capture footage of the game directly off of the arcade board, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That was 10 days before the event. It was supposed to be sent with like 3 day shipping or something.
Okay.
To make a long story short, that package never showed up. We're now like almost through April, and that
Okay. Did it
package still
actually
has.
ship or you don't know?
I don't know. All I got was I'll get you a shipping number, and that was it.
Okay. Okay, that's
Um,
fine.
so
Okay, so
so
that
so there was that. So now I'm scrambling trying to like get a webcam, right? Um, Trying to get a webcam set up, something reliable to set like behind the cabinet, behind the players. And I've just about got that figured out. Like it's looking okay. Well, then there's an issue on the on the player 2 side of the MK2 machine
okay.
uh, that you start hitting right on the player 2 side on the player 2 stick. You start hitting right, and you hit right, and then you go back to neutral, and they keep moving to the right, or you hit right and nothing happens. It's a very erratic, like sporadic issues on that side that's significant to keep people from doing inputs. I mean, how many inputs in the game involve using back? Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so at that point, it's like, well, what are we going to do? We still need to run the event. There were a couple guys that traveled from like 3 hours away
Mhm.
or more
Yeah, like true.
in Indiana. And
30.
oh, well, these guys that showed up, I didn't know they were coming.
Okay.
I had talked to one of the guys, and he was like, "Yeah, we're going to try to be up there." They came specifically for MK2.
Okay.
Uh, and we were, so there was the expectation, and MK2 was advertised as being played on cabinet. There were some other moving parts issues regarding like the opening and close time of Arcade Legacy. They closed a good bit earlier than we had anticipated, so we already had to move the MK1 event actually to McLovin's house because he has an MK1 machine there that
Okay.
has MK1 and MK2 in it.
Okay. Was that a one
To
up or a real arcade?
No, no, it's a real.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, dude, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. It's
thought I saw a small. Somebody actually sent me the finals because I'll get into that later. Go ahead. Yes.
yeah, dude. McLovin's has like the ultimate like home arcade. Like,
Nice.
yeah, he's got a couple one ups in there,
Hmm.
but he has an MK1 cab that has MK1 and MK2 in it. He's got a UMK3 cab that has UMK3 and MK4 in it, and then he's got a KI2, a Primal Rage, um,
Nice.
one other one other machine that escape no is that one of those old rail shooter games. I can't remember the name of it. And then on the other side of the room is one of those pedestal mart like showcase cabinets that he actually has a main box running in that you name a video game and it's there.
Right.
So,
Cool.
and these two guys that traveled specifically for the MK2 tournament, we asked them like, look, we can run it on an emulator. We have a couple of sticks that are, the layouts are the same, and they're like, man, we only play on cabinet. Like that's why we came. So it's
Hmm.
like, and it was advertised on cabinet, so the
Right.
guys that were already
Right.
there were fine with it being on cabinet, and I didn't want to turn people away that had traveled that far, right?
Hmm.
So we just moved the event we moved the MK2 tournament over to McLovin's house along with the
The
MK1
MK1.
event.
Now, I again,
Uh,
I remember this, and I got messages immediately because I'm the biggest Fuku defender there is. I love
yeah.
this kid.
Oh,
Okay.
and dude, I wish that I could have. So it was already tight quarters. You shove like 10 guys in that room, and you're nuts to butts everywhere you go.
Yep, and
Uh,
believe me, because I've been the biggest MK1 supporter. Look what I've done for MK1. I have gotten players. I've got even the European guys who are amazing. I've done so much for MK1 in the last couple of years. It's back
yeah.
on the map. It's a thing, and like I get messages from all the MK1 guys, and I'm like, Drew didn't stream this shit. And of course I was pissed. I wasn't pissed at you. I was so mad though because I wanted I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, oh my god, True. I felt so bad for him. He's like, no, True's the calmest, nicest kid. He's like, yeah, you know, it is what it is, And I'm like, because that's how nice he is. He's just such a nice guy. And I was like, no, I ain't gonna let this slide. Then I found out you guys had a tournament, he won, whatever, and then some footage showed up, and of course I was heated. You're like, you know what? I ain't doing this anymore. And then a week later, you're like, all right, I didn't mean to be so rough, and I also didn't mean to be rough. I didn't. I was just sticking up for my guys. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to hurt your event.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And then like Base was like, something's probably gonna be so pissed off because he knows I care about True like my son. He's like my son. I mean, like really, like he's literally like a kid that I didn't have. I mean, I love this kid. And I was like, oh, he freaking shows up to your event to be streamed, being shown one. I know him. He might not admit it, but I know he wants to beat some ass on freaking stream. I know he does. I
Oh
know it.
yeah.
And God bless him. You know what I mean? So that's all. That was all my only thing about it. I wasn't putting your event down. And then you were like, you know what? I ain't doing it again. That wasn't my point. That wasn't my point. But I'm glad we talked about it though. We talked
Yeah.
about it. It was fine. It's fine. You know?
It's yeah, and like I said, with that and the stress of the event, and like we had to break, like I broke stuff down, took the stream stuff upstairs, so like, I had to break it down, put it back together upstairs. We ran into the issues, broke it down again, and at that time it was just like, I there's no way that I can, like, in a reasonable amount of time, put together the streaming stuff again, get a wired connection at McLovin's house, get a table somewhere
Mm-hmm.
that's far enough away, but at the same time leaves enough room for everybody to get in and out that
Yep.
needs it.
I mean, I ran events too. I get it. I mean, I do. We were, I. By the way, my your biggest defender and everything is Matt, is Shock, and I'm not saying that you guys are, but you guys are very scripted in the way you guys talk. I don't know if you guys have a chat room or whatever, but you all sound the same, and it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying because I got an earful the next day from Matt saying, you know how hard it is to run events, and I'm like, dude, the dude drove from freaking Mississippi. You know how
Yeah,
hard it is. I'm like, well, Drew didn't come on. He came in the chat. He didn't say it. I would have if Drew came on the camera and said, "Sorry guys," I'm like, we can't do the MK1. No problems. I found out from like the chat that you just messaged like the chat, we can't have MK1 on stream. And I'm like, get a fucking video camera. I didn't mean it personally though. I really
oh
didn't
yeah,
mean it
it's
like
cool. Yeah, I
it's
understand. I,
2023. Just get out a cell phone and stream the damn stream. You can stream it from the cell phone too. And I understand you guys had stuff to do. But and
yeah,
I also have one more thing to say. I wanted to when Truku came. It's not only you. When Truku came to NEC, okay, there was MK1 was advertised, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, and MK2 was too, and only 3 people registered for the MK2 tournament, but I would have played, but I didn't register, you know? So that was done like, like the proper way. And that's where like someone came in second who didn't even know how to play the game. That one girl who plays MK12. I don't know. Anyway, the whole point is, and I told True, I'm like, I'm gonna make MK1 happen for you, dude. And Shock told me, no, if no one plays, we're not playing it. I'm like, we're playing it, And I just go in and I made it happen somehow. We didn't do a tournament, but we had online matches. You saw the NXT stream. I thought it was great, I kind of like make stuff happen, even though it's like very difficult. And I understand how hard the event was. I get it. You sounded very, 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 very sad and depressed and like relieved in ways that it was over. You did? Because I remember talking to you. Online, at least, that was my interpretation of it. You're like, dude, I'm just never going to do this again. Because some people were upset about it. Remember we had that talk.
Like,
yeah.
You can't make everybody happy.
I know. I try. As you notice, I try to do that.
And
but
and I'm not tooting my own horn, but by any means. But like, I did my best. I ran a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And those of us that were there, fortunately, got to have a pretty good time. I appreciate the support from everybody, including you.
Yeah, I was talking about it.
It didn't go the way we wanted it to for MK2 and MK1, and I still don't feel great about it.
Right.
But
But yeah, you told me it, so I believe you, of course. I mean, after I said something, you said something back, and then a few days later, you'd be like, dude, you know what? I didn't say it like the right way. I didn't mean it like that. I was very appreciative of you saying that stuff because I was defending my guy. It wasn't me versus you. It was me. I know this kid's heart, man. He fucking loves this game. I told Matt the same thing. And I get these beta text answers from you and him. You at first, not afterwards. Like we couldn't run it, we didn't have time or whatever it was. And I was like, no, you can't do that to the guy, man. You can't, you got to make sure that happens, or you got to give him the proper send off. And you told me this afterwards. I'm fine with it. But like Matt's more robotic in ways. He's like, nope, if you can't run it, you can't run it. You know better than this. And I'm like, oh man, come on, no, I can't give that. That's not a right answer I could give to Truku. You know what I'm saying, right? That's all I meant. I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean any disrespect. You're the only one who had an event in the last how many years because of COVID, whatever. But still, yours was very successful if you had 31 people there. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was also trying to plug your event every minute, and I was supposed to come to your event as well, but I'm in the middle of getting my papers for here, and they took my travel stuff away. I can travel in Europe, but not back to the U.S. until they fix my all my residence cards and stuff. But I can travel here, so I absolutely was coming there. So why wouldn't I go? And for people who think that I'm siding with Base, I'm not on anyone's side. I hear Base out as a person. I hear you out as a person because I've seen all the different characters growing up. I never canceled anybody, even though you said that you haven't and you're not a leader. You are a leader. You're appointed one, and maybe your stuff with Base. I'm not bringing him up again. I'm just saying maybe your stuff with Base has translated to the other guys. Like, oh, maybe we shouldn't play this guy. All I meant is maybe you can come on and say, listen, this guy's always going to be around. Let's just play him on Fightcade. Let's get more people on Fightcade. And fine, you don't agree with the online tier list. You could be on a list or whatever, but with no pictures, just a name. Have an ABCD rank or whatever. And if you ever want to get above that rank, play the guy who's above you. The match will be on Fightcade. We'll move you up a rank. It's just fun, man. That's all it is. The tournament you had, it's fun. It's what else is it? It's fun, right? It's also a little bit of bragging rights, right? Okay, online doesn't count, but we must make it count a little bit nowadays because it is what it is. It's the easiest platform for everyone to just log in. Yeah, but ranks make people like a little bit salty again. With you know what I mean? It's just a little gimmick. It's a little gimmicky. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think you're kind of taking it. Okay, who's the best? Detroit and Arion? No, but we want them to play still. What happens if they want to play? Like maybe they just want to beat somebody. It just makes for better gameplay. More people on. Like for example, there's 30 people on the stream tonight. I usually get 20 to 30 or 15 to 20 because Drew's on. Do you see? Like it's the community is like it is something. You know? You know? I'm just saying.
Yeah, and Shady just mentioned like online tourneys. I got like when we were doing like during 2020 when we were doing the CKK online events. We do a UMK3, and then we did I think MK2, or we did a couple UMK3s, then an MK2, then another UMK3 and an MK1. I never had a problem getting like 14, 15, 16 people for the event. Sometimes somebody backed out or somebody no showed or something like that. But like, as far as getting like 15, 16 people to commit, that really wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I've tried to support some of these other events. Like I played the one that like Combat Network ended up running that Justin Wong uh, was going to run, but kept having to push it back. So he just kind of gave it to the Combat Network guys. I
Okay.
played in that one, and then the guy I can never. God, I feel terrible. I can never remember his name. He's a young gun. He's one of Truku's buddies. Uh, he ran an event. We had like 7 people, but somebody no showed, so we had like 6. And like, I'm all about supporting I'm all about supporting events that other people run. It doesn't have to be a Drew tournament for people to play in it. Like anybody can play in it.
Right.
And I like to support those smaller tournaments when I can, because yeah, they're online tournaments, and it's kind of a weird dynamic in this community, because like you can be like, no, Truku, it's not Turd Baby, it's the other guy, Ryan something. Yeah, Ryan, that's his name, I think. But like you can be like, hey guys, let's get together and like play some games online. Let's hit up Kylera and do some 2v2 stuff or whatever. Yeah, RC00, that's the guy.
Yeah. Okay.
But so and that's cool. And it's like, hey guys, why don't we get together and do like a little online tournament? And all of a sudden, a lot of dudes just like, like looking down, kicking rocks, scratching their head, like, man, I don't know. I think I gotta be somewhere that night. And it's like you throw the word tournament out there, and people are just gonna like scatter, you know? And I don't really understand it, because like it does like maybe it's like a winning and losing thing. Like with casuals, it's like, you know not that big of a deal because it's just casuals, but it's a tournament. It's like, well, I have something to play for. If I have nothing else to play for, it's my pride. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like and maybe that's what it is. People don't like to get beaten in a best out of 5 environment, or a best out of 3 environment, or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
attached to a tournament that might reflect on their skill. I don't know. It's just it's kind of a weird quirk in this community that I wish, you know people would get through. But there's a lot in this community, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, like, I mean, that's really it. Like, I would love to see more. I think I called them online minis, because they were mini tournaments that were run online, that were 12 to 16 people, that
Right.
had some decent viewership.
Mm-hmm.
And like, were we playing for anything? No, there was no money on the line. There was nothing on the line except like maybe perceived skill or pride, something like that. But that's the kind of thing that would be fun. Be,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, listen. This stuff. Okay, Truku and people said they could get events like small online events. I can stream them. I mean, look, we got 30 people on here tonight. People obviously care if if they're trolling or just lurking. Lurking is the right word. I'm such a noob. It's there's interest, okay? But when there's let's say you doing your, how many people do you have watching your stream, by the way? Like
it
50, 100?
it no, it depends. Like if I do a Wednesday stream, like I'll be lucky to see 20. Like after like beta 2 of UMK3 Plus released, it just kind of like the viewership kind of dropped off a little bit. And
Okay.
later last year, I started playing other games on the stream as well, and I went from like having anywhere from like 25 to 35,
Okay. So you're saying the average
like
is
single
about.
digits.
So let's just say somehow we could. I'm not. The time zone's always a mess for me, but Jimmy's going to be back soon. I'm just saying, like, if we could just get like players to play again, join up certain stream groups, whatever it is. I think it would just be nice. That's all I'm saying. I think that right now there are less matches because of base. I did say that before. Big says who cares, but I care. I really do care. I really think that when there's a like a shunning of a player, less people play because they're afraid they might get trolled by him. Ballot. Say, listen, when I was a kid, nobody wanted to be Ballot. No, 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 no. He goes on, he does that. That's that's it's hard to do as much as he does it. You know, I just think that am I gonna show up at Summer Jam? Summer Jam would be a cool place to be. When is Summer Jam, guys? Do you know? I might be able to come if I get my papers by then. You think? But the thing is, I don't know if Matt's gonna be there. So who's gonna stream it? I don't know. Would you? Let me ask you something, Drew. Would you ever go back to Summer Jam?
If the timing was right, I don't see why not. I mean, I got two more kids than I did the last year.
Yeah.
The last
Oh
time I
God.
went, you know.
Kids I know. Believe me, I have many of them too. Oh, there's Detroit.
Hey, what's up,
And
Detroit?
so Detroit's like number one. Yeah, I saw Detroit get beat up the other day, but then I just found out it wasn't from the U.S. So there's then he hasn't lost. I saw the matches. I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? So maybe that explains it. Not saying that it was bad, but like I like to see a top player meeting another top player, and it's fun to see, you know. So yeah, he was freezing. Oh, he was freezing. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I saw some of the freezing, but were you doing that? Or he's doing that? Was that your fault? His fault? I'm not accusing. I'm just saying I saw some of the freezes. And by the way, Detroit Bowling and me, we're friends. We've met. I have met him in person. He's a good friend. I wouldn't say he's a great friend of mine because I don't know him that long, but we're good friends. We know each other. You know, we met in the MK9 days. I don't know if you know that.
So is Detroit Ballin from Detroit? Is he like your age or my age or?
He is younger than me. He
Okay, 'cause
is,
I've only had a few interactions with him. I
and
mean, he seems like a decent
let
dude.
me bring up another guy who
And
showed
he's a
up.
heck of a player.
Dude,
Turning 30
this
on Saturday.
kid,
Oh, young buck.
yeah, this kid, you have no idea what this guy's done. He came into the Lions Den too, the VSM den, the harder den, and he whooped everyone, man. He did. He beat everybody. That takes guts. Okay? And of course, I made him feel comfortable at home because I do that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't easy to do what he did. He came in and he beat everybody with Shang Tsung. Nobody had an answer. He beat CD Jr. No one. I mean, VSM was the best group of MK9 players on the whole goddamn planet. Okay, and believe me, when Detroit came in and he just finished business. What he did that weekend was probably one of the greatest things I've seen because I hung out with the VSM. All the VSM guys are all my friends. I've known them all personally for decades. Honestly, he came in there. Nobody knew who this guy was. He just that takes guts. You know, Detroit. I always give you props for that, man. You know that. That was one of the biggest like ballsiest things I've ever seen. I forgot what event it was, MLG or whatever it was. It was a big thing. Do you know about that, or that you weren't really following MK9 then, Drew? You don't know about
I
that?
I wasn't following MK9. That was
NEC. It was NEC too. Yeah, it was NEC,
what
and
year?
it
What
was a
year?
long time. It was before I went to Sweden. It must have been more than 10 years ago. It was probably 12 years ago. I don't remember.
It's like
2012. Yeah, okay. 2 years before
2011,
I left. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was dealing with a lot back then.
Well, yeah, I
So
understand. I mean, I had my youngest kid is 9 now, so I think my kids are a little older than yours. But still, it's like I get it. I know.
yeah, I've
You
got
want MK9, yeah, with the wood belt at NEC with Shang, nobody used them. Yeah, that was really it was me and Jimmy. That was amazing. What Detroit did. He just and the fact that he's such a great UMK3 player even makes it cooler for me. I think I won like maybe one round versus him recently. When he first started playing on Fightgate, I won a game or two, but not anymore. Not gonna happen. Not a set. I'm talking a game. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Base, I think I might have won maybe one match versus him ever. Like, I mean, you beat me in three. I can't. I suck at the game. I don't care. I never cared. You know. And
Yeah.
for me, it was always about getting people together, getting people to play. Getting the community to join, even if there was tough people like Base, tough people. I would say in a way you're tough too, because like if you don't want it, you're just done. You're like, no, I don't want it. I'm done. That's a tough person too. You know what I mean? So tough people come in goods and bads and you know backwards and forwards. You know what I mean? So I just would like to get everybody to so fine. The online thing isn't a good idea. I don't know how to do it, but I would love to do it. I don't know how to put the players together. I don't. Truku's gonna do events. Well, I could stream them here. Like once a month on
Well, I
these.
mean,
I don't.
you
I
know,
don't know what to
how,
do
you know,
really.
how many people you got in here now? I mean, you got
There's
Biggs,
about 30 people in here now, and they're
yeah,
all
so
here because of us.
yeah,
All of us, including Base. They're
and
all here because of us.
yeah, and I see a bunch of them in here that are UMK3 players.
Yes.
Okay, so get a you don't even have to do like a random like you could just do like a random thing or something. Just be like pick two names out of a hat or do one of those random number generator wheels or whatever that you put the names on and the wheel spins around and you spin the wheel twice. Those two get in there and play a first to five, play on stream.
That would be great. But how do we do that? You know what I mean?
You
Like, I mean, how do we consistently do it? Sorry.
I pick a couple nights a month maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Um,
True Cool will help me with all this stuff. True Cool, take notes, man. Oh yeah, and by the way, I just want to go back to Detroit for a second. Detroit makes me want to bring up Shang on the tier list. Okay? I really want to bring this up because Biggs knows that Detroit's the best player. Listen to this shit. Listen to this, Biggs. You listening? Listen to this. I went into Lex's Discord and I said that the stuff he does with Shang, like for example, he gets the ground fireball infinite every time. If he gets you with one ground fireball, you're done. We spent thousands of dollars trying to do this in the arcade. Okay, we couldn't do it. Okay, he gets it like if he doesn't even go for it, he should just go for it all the time. That's what I would do. But if he gets you know that, right? You played Detroit. You saw the ground fireball infinite. Did you ever get it forever? Every single time you've ever done it, Drew? Honestly.
oh, I've never attempted. I'm terrible. I'm
Okay.
terrible.
Okay. So
My
this
strategy
dude,
with Shang is to morph into a top tier character and go.
this dude will never miss the ground fireball infinite. He's never gonna miss it. I've never seen him miss it. That's number one. Number two, I went into the chat and I was like, I think I want to make Shang like top three. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, he's anti-air high punching, changing to Ermac, punch lift, and doing 60% combos, 65% combos.
Like
That is
the,
amazing.
summoning this would be the perfect time. Like, guys are going back and forth. Like you would be like, the moderator or the I don't know what you call it, like
The color commenter. I always wanted to be
yeah,
that. That's why I wanted to
you'd
be
be
at the
like
stream.
you'd be like the
It gets
MC. You'd be like, all
yeah.
right, like Biggs and Burlock get in there first to five,
Yeah,
boom.
I want to do that. I want to do that. But there's so much, yeah, I would. I want to be that. Anyway, so I went into that chat room. And I brought that stuff up with that what Detroit did. And what did he have to say? That shit that he's doing can't be done in the arcade. Bam, canceled him right there. And I'm like, What are you talking about? He's beating everyone. Yeah, he's on the keyboard. And believe me, Detroit came on a stream. There's an archive of it somewhere. We talked about it for a while. I even know my old school guys, my MK2 guys came on. Guys who've been in like books of MK2, and they're like, yeah, whatever that guy does on keyboard doesn't matter. You know what I mean? He can't do that on stick. You
Well,
know?
hey, summoning
Yes.
Mr. Godly Official in here in the chat.
Yes. Please DM.
You should friend him on Discord.
I
He's
will do that. I will
okay.
do that.
Good. Yeah, it's a good
Somebody
idea.
send him an invite if he's not in. Jimmy. See, I got moderators. I'm like a special guy now. I got people doing my business. So somebody send that guy a invite. True Cool probably handle it or one of them. But yeah, no, thank you for that. Yeah, I want to talk to everybody on this. Honestly, if you're well, here's the thing. The keyboard thing. This is a big thing for the old school players. I personally don't mind, but like the keyboard stuff. Well, first of all, Arion is a really good player. I haven't seen Arion in Detroit play. I don't know who wins that one. Do you guys know? I am not making fun or trolling. I'm being honest. I haven't seen them two play. I know Arion for a long time. I never beat him either. I do think Arion jumps a lot, to be honest. That's just my observation of him playing
So
him. Yep.
yeah, so no doubt. Are you saying that the Russian guys are allowed to have multiple inputs? That's kind of janky.
They have been said you can't win on Fightcade versus anyone. Well, because of the connection. But I know you're a good player. I've played you offline. You've won tournaments offline, so you've proved yourself. Arion's good, very good, extremely good. I know that.
Yeah, like so having multiple binds or multiple inputs, uh, yeah, that's the kind of thing that's something that doesn't translate offline, right? So like
Yeah,
with
I'm
with
not
all of
sure.
our tournaments, like yeah, you can play on keyboard, you can play on stick, you can play on a pad. But the rule is to keep it as true to the arcade as you can, playing on an emulator with a control stick, right, or with a control pad. You get one button per input and
Hmm.
one input per button, and
Okay.
that's and for like there was one guy. It was Mortal Jason, and I like the guy,
Hmm.
but he would not come to the Ohio tournament because he couldn't use his typical inputs for like instant air fans with Katana because he would use the D-pad and he would use an analog stick in order to more easily pull off the instant air fireballs and instant air fans and stuff,
Hmm.
and that's why he wouldn't come out.
Right.
Be- he could
But
because
well,
he couldn't use the analog sticks along with the D-pad.
the
And
Ultimate Cup stuff, though, they have a tier list and they play each other all the time. I know they live in the same country, in the same cities and stuff. That's a big difference, or close by. But they have a successful they have a big rivalry too, by the way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But they still yeah, they might use those. I don't know if they cheat or not with those, but they still rank up all the time. That thing is all about ranks, and they just beat each other up all the time. That's what I'm talking about here. Do you know what I
and
mean?
that, and those guys are okay with it, but for some reason, that's a sticking point over here. So
It's
I
it's
just
it's a
I'm
lot to
like,
do with
yeah,
base. It's a lot to do with base.
I don't
Even though
think it has as much to do with base as you think, because even with base not involved, even when base wasn't involved with it,
yeah.
people weren't showing up, people weren't coming out. So um,
Well, coming out, yes, but like now that it's online, a lot of it is because of base. It is. It really is. I've been taking notes, and Big says, "Who cares?" I understand that. I care. I don't want a segregated community. I would like to have everybody. Listen, Drew, if you streamed, of course I'll support your stream. You're just on late. I'll go on. I'll go online. No problems. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, 1 second. Yeah, I mean, I think we got a lot done today. Okay, I think we touched on a lot of topics. I do really think that I have to thank you the most because you didn't want to talk about this ever, and you brought up a lot of stuff today. I'm very happy that you did. Because Matt won't even give me 5 minutes about this, and he's a very important person to this community. He's not the godfather that people says, but he's the guy after us or whatever. I mean, but like he won't even give it. He won't even come on. He just doesn't. And he absolutely canceled this game because of all this stuff that was going on. And so it is a thing. Do you guys want Shock back? Of course you do. Why would you not want Shock back? I want Phil back too. Phil's not good at the game. I'd love to have Phil back. You see, this chat's getting interesting, right? I mean,
I
so
would,
much.
yeah, I would absolutely love to have Shock and Phil playing online again.
It would
You
be
know,
great.
it is like a common theme in the past like 5-10 minutes of this chat is it is absolutely a different game than it was 10 years ago.
It is. It is. The stuff that you guys do now, we can't. We don't know how to do. I mean, guys like me and Jimmy, we don't know how to do this stuff. You
Like
know?
it was cool because like prior to casuals at McLovin's house before CKK, like Drac and I were here at the house just like labbing stuff like like what were like how punishable is how punishable is like a blocked high kick, like
Right.
how punishable is
Yep.
that, like,
That you guys have a lot of knowledge. I mean,
and things like that are absolutely punishable if you can time them right. um and that adds like, oh crap, a guy, I blocked a high kick from 2 steps away. If I can get a spear out quick enough, a blocked high kick becomes 50%, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So yeah,
and that's
the things that these guys are talking about, like okay, you can see there's like a not a rivalry, but there's a rift. There's like because Biggs is bringing up points, Ariad's bringing up points, Base was bringing up points. So I could just narrow it down. Biggs is like, who cares who plays who? I do. I absolutely care. Who am I? Nobody, but I do care. You know what I mean? Like, and Base does too. And I ain't sticking up for Base, but I'm saying that Base wants people to play. I know he does. He's a competitive guy, and he takes it to another level. Like for example, Matt doesn't want to play because Base is around. There's so many things. Of course, there's things in everyday life. There's relationship problems. There's marital problems. There's blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying this is one thing that we can all agree on. We all love this game. How do we get everybody to play on Fightcade? It's the easiest way to go on. Sure, it's not the most accurate, but it's the easiest way. So True's gonna do some online events. The guy who's coming on the Discord, he does stuff. Look, we met these guys today, right? We accomplished something, right? Right? There's always gonna be wars and stuff. There's always gonna be, but like we should have the online wars and just play, and we'll talk about it the next day. Have a few players on, you know. Rio, I know Rio has been Rio was very good back then. I don't think he's good anymore, but he can get back to his. Rio is a very, very talented player. He can get back to his form if he cared. I don't know if he cares. So he was very good. Today, he probably isn't. And I can tell you my Rio story. I know my Rio story is very interesting. I beat Rio in the first 4 games I've ever played him in UMK3. It's a fact. I never won a single round versus him years later in any MK, even 2. That's how great that kid is. Can you imagine? It's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. I played him in casuals 4 times. I won 4 matches, and I never won another game from him ever again. I've known him for 15 years. you know, that's the
hey,
truth.
I have an offline winning record against the Juggernaut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was casuals before the first tournament, so like I don't really count it. We were just messing around,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's just
Yeah,
people have
yeah.
a different, it's like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, the official game of the guy who plays casuals at the weekly locals like he would at the grand finals at Evo, because that's as close as he's gonna get.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and see, Sofa King is saying that he plays the same dudes every day because MK's dead. I gotta kind of side with him a little bit on that because the community is separated. They are playing on MAME. They're not around. If everybody was actually around, it would be funner. That's all. I don't mean anything bad by it. It would be just let's get more players on. You know
I
what
would
I mean?
love to play. I would love to play some more against Burlock.
Yeah.
It's
So there you go.
a lot of
So
it, man. It's a matter of timing. Like I mean, like if you're, I mean, like we're in the same time zone, but I think we have like different work shift schedules, and it's hard.
yes, it
It's
is.
hard to find times. Like Draconian. I remember like 7, 8, 9 years ago, Draconian and I played like 3 or 4 times a week. Like I back in like 2014, 2015. Like if I wasn't playing NWO or Base
Hmm.
or Dubson or Eddie or Draconian or Demonocris, I was playing somebody new, hoping that I could like get him trained up to get kind of competitive. But like there was always somebody on to play back then, and there it seems like there's fewer. Maybe it's just because we all got more going on now. I don't know.
I think that, and I do think that there's a lot of I mean, people don't agree. There's a lot of play. I mean, when Matt and I were doing things, we got so many other people out. Those Matt is like lost in the community now, so that's another. People know him, so he's out because he's not playing anymore because of base and things like that. There's like the like check and there's like these other guys. They don't not because of base. They just if but we were in touch with Czech and maybe Czech would play again. I don't know. I'm just bringing up names. I ain't bringing up any specific scenarios. I'm saying that like when you lose players who love the game, who still love the game, I know they still do, because of certain players, that stops people. Yeah, like this JEW guy. I was watching him too. I thought he was incredible, but then they were saying that he might use things too. I don't know if it's true or not. And then that's when Lex would be like, "Oh, he's a keyboard player. I have no use for that guy." You know what I mean? Detroit Bolin, no use for him. He's a keyboard player. Like I I don't, they play the game, right? Let's do it. There's so much. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff, Drew. You're even looking at it. Look at all this stuff that's on the chat. It's all interesting stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's all because you came on. You know, you came on. I did a couple.
I can't attribute it to myself,
No, it's
man.
it's me,
I'm
it's
just
everybody. But I'm saying you came on. You got some more players on. Yeah, Lex is very competitive. He don't like to lose. Okay? Who likes to lose? I don't care. Jimmy doesn't care. I don't care. But like Lex cares, Base cares. Believe me, I'm sure Drew cares too. He doesn't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to lose. It's all about the winning. Let's not be Lex lost to me and tried to claim I played. Well, yeah, I mean, he might be a sore loser too, Biggs. There's losers, there's sore losers. Why the fuck do you? I care. I don't care about you losing. About how he said you lost, but if I'm sorry, how he said he lost. I care about watching you versus him because I like watching high level players. I do care. Does that make me weird? I don't know. I just like to watch good matches. Sometimes I log into the Fightcade and I watch Detroit's replays. I like to watch them. Does that make me a bad guy? I don't know. I don't care who plays on what. Oh, that's what you mean. Um, okay, sorry. That was my fault. I didn't understand what you meant. Um, I absolutely don't care either. They do. So I brought up Detroit with the Ermac stuff. Did you see that Ermac combo, by the way, Drew, that Detroit does? Anti-air,
uh
high punch, morph to Ermac, punch, lift. My God. Go do it. Try it. I brought that combo up to Lex. He's like, it's not doable on an arcade stick. I'm like,
which
yeah, it
one is
is.
it?
Anti-air punch,
Yep.
anti-air punch, high punch with
Yep.
Shang. Morph into Ermac. Punch, lift. Combo. It's like 60%.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, dude, Detroit is like, I worship the guy. Okay, yeah, I know, Biggs. Lex said it's not doable. You know what I mean? I know it's done. I know it could be done on stick. I know. I called Lex out too, and he thought I was. He actually. Lex treated me like kind of like you did, Drew, in the beginning, and now you're like, you kind of said that you're sorry about it. Like I wasn't trying to like say that Lex was a bad player. I was like, I saw Detroit do all this stuff, and he immediately says, no, he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Why are you trying to you troll me? I'm not. I just, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right? Like in the beginning, you were like a little rough on me, Drew, and then you're like, okay, I'm sorry, and I was too. I never get those from Lex. He's too competitive for that. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna give me
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, a lot of my path as a human being has been like, you learn, and if you don't learn, like, you know, if you can't learn to admit you're wrong, then you're already wrong. It happens.
Yeah. There's one thing. Let's do this. It's really busy online, but I would like you, Drew, not to kind of like spread, not spread, wrong word. Let's bring up base in like a negative way anymore, and just like try to play him. Try to get some of the guys who follow you to play him. And I think that would get more players online. I personally think so. Being online for 3 years doing this, I see less players because of this. Could you maybe like say, all right, this guy's been shitty to me, whatever, but like let's go online and beat him or something. You know what I mean? Like, or just like let's go online and make something of it. Let's do communities again. Let's try. That's all I'm saying. I think that you could help us. I think that you could. You don't have to. You went through a lot of shit, whatever. I think that if you could tell people who follow your stream, like, hey, listen, you know what? I was on Blast Show the other day, and I want more people to play on Fightcade. Maybe more people would play on Fightcade. That's all I'm saying. I hear from a lot of people that Fightcade's kind of dead. Yes, that's the time zones. Okay, fine, but in general, maybe you could help that. There's 30 people on today. The point is to get more people to play. That's what my point is. I would like more people to play. I think you could make that happen, Drew. I think you could. A little bit. Maybe you
Let's
could
see.
talk to Matt, but Matt will never agree. But he's the toughest guy there is. But anyway,
Yeah.
he's very tough. It's not about power. It's not about Drew having power. It's about having a community say. It's got nothing to do with power. No one has power. Who's got power? It's a fucking game. But if see there's okay, this is all rivalry. Who's better? Biggs and Arion or Detroit? This is all about like rivalries. This is good stuff, by the way. This ain't like this is like okay, I'll play you. He's not good. That's not good. This is good stuff. You know what I mean? This is what it's about. I can see you're really reading the chat and go for it.
Yeah.
Power, wrong word, reason following. Yeah, I mean we should read along for a while. I'm just talking. Uh,
Yeah. I mean, like, I I
there's so
I
much
don't.
stuff. You see?
I agree with Biggs. I don't have power. I
Want
don't.
power? I get that too. But you have power. You have it. You have that power. You have people who watch your stuff, and if you do a stream or a tweet about some MK stuff, you got a whole bunch of. If you just said let's all play on Fightcade, guys, Drew can actually not just versus base. Drew can actually get more people to Fightcade. Biggs, you think everyone's on Fightcade? They're not. But if maybe Drew could help get more people on Fightcade, it would be great. It's hard to get people to play base, yes, but getting people to play on Fightcade would be step one. You know? Yeah, I think I gotta agree with Ari on there. Just play them. You know? I play them. It's very fucking tough. What does base have to do with anything else? Well, Detroit, you tuned in later. I'm not getting into this with Drew. I did this already. Drew, Detroit. I'm sorry, Drew, base, and Shock and stuff have a really big history, and it's a It's pretty bad. Drew will tell you. You just have to use one word, Drew. It's pretty deep, right? It was pretty deep, right? You just have to say yes because you know that it was. So it's a
Deeper than it should have ever been.
yes. So it's a thing, and there has been small community like breaks, like different separate groups. Yeah, but this drama has caused people to not play on Fightcade and stuff. Not everybody, but like I'm trying to get everybody to kind of play again. And I've been, it's being called delusional and stuff, but it still just somehow let's just play again. I just wanted to try to always do that, just like, cause listen, there's 30 of you guys on, and you guys are shit talking in the stream. It's great. Go play each other on Fightcade. That's all you could do right now. Okay, so whoever wins, it's good to see. I'll watch the videos on stream tomorrow. We'll get more players on. We get more stuff going on. Don't you guys want to play more players? You could have zero interest in it, Biggs, but you're probably pretty good at the game, right? Play. Whatever. Beat some people up. I'll play you. I won't even stand around probably. I'm fine with that. It's cool to see. If you don't have any interest,
Zero
again.
interest in UMK3, Biggs. What happened?
No, I think he does. I just think maybe he's tired of. You must have a little bit of interest. It's still in you. Yeah, Base is negatively famous. Drew also is famous. Let's say Matt Shock was famous. Me and Jimmy, we started a lot of things. We weren't good at the game. Everybody has a thing, But like, if we all could just like put our shit together and just play on Fightcade, which is all that we have right now. When's the next online event? There isn't one planned. Summer Jam sounds like a plan. If we push it, maybe we can get some players there. That's fine. Like Drew, you could help us support Summer Jam if there's a Summer Jam, right?
Yeah.
Get some players there. It's not so hard, right? I put all my energy into Troy Polamalu. Yeah, I do too. He's impossible to beat. I feel the same way about Base, though. For me, he's impossible to beat. But those of you who could beat Base, I tip my cap to you guys. I can't do it. But I suck at the game. I never said I was good at it. All the fighting games don't compare to MK3. Well, I like MK1 better, but you guys know me. UMK3 offline event in Atlanta. Oh yes, sorry. True. I apologize. True keeps me in check. By the way, did you know about that, Drew?
I was not aware.
Okay, so there is an online event in Atlanta. Would you go to it?
If
Depends.
the timing lines up. Yep. There's
True.
a lot
when
of
is it?
moving parts, man.
I know.
When is it?
Believe me, I know. True. When is it? It started buffering as soon as I said that. Oh, okay. So when is that event? I don't know when it is. Let's see. True Coup is actually going there. Late May. It's probably too early for you, right? Drew?
What is it? Is that like
UMK3 was like next month.
26th through 29th? Is that Labor Day weekend?
I don't know.
It looks like it. Yeah, it's like school's wrapping up.
I
School's
know it's
wrapping
hard.
up. There's all kinds of stuff going on. If it
Good night, Biggs.
if it works, it works. Yeah, night Biggs. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I understand your points too, dude. Everyone's got them. I just would love everybody to play again. That's really what I would love to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, so it's 1 in the morning. All right, so for me it's 7 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I got a few hours sleep. I knew my team was gonna lose today. I just knew the Devils were gonna tie it up. So I watched the game on Discord with my kids, and I was like, oh man, 2-2, best of 7. We ripped them up at home, and then they just came to our house and won 2. I knew it was gonna be a big series. But anyway, all right. So I think we got a lot of stuff done today. Yeah, don't be saying that. We'll see. But you know what? I think Jersey's actually going to do really well. The Rangers come back out of nowhere. Let's see what happens. I'm disappointed, but I'm not so disappointed as the Game 3 loss. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. I'm Rangers for life. But all right. We got a lot of shit done today. We were as kind as could be to all parties. And Drew, I thank you for coming on. I thank you for you were kind. Okay, you told me you would never speak about this stuff, and you have. That speaks a lot about you. Okay, it does. Matt won't ever do it. And I want him to, and it's not because I want to expose him or I just want people to play. Do you believe me now? I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I got kids too, man. I just want to play the game. And
Yeah,
sometimes, you know,
I hear that. I hear that. I want people to play the game and not have to worry about looking over their shoulder virtually afterwards. You know what I
well,
mean?
Base has told me, and I'm going to leave it at this, that he's going to try to leave the personal shit out. He could talk as much shit as he wants online. That's fine. Everyone does it. He could be meaner than other people, fine. But I think he wants to drop the personal stuff. You know what I mean? And like, because let's say Biggs was calling him all this, nobody's going to approach him and stuff. This is the type of stuff that fuels Base. There's no need to do that. We already put in too much faith. No, the thing is, Base is a huge part of this. He's a huge part of this scene. For example, if I need to know who a player is, Base knows who he is. Do you guys? Not everybody. Not everyone. Base is giving me he's like, oh, you got to play this guy. He's amazing. I've never met anybody who knows everybody. It's fine if he's a very competitive, he's a mean player, whatever, but he knows everybody, he knows his stuff, he knows how people play, he knows what to do. I think that's very important for the community too. You can't just have a community of people who are just friendly all the time. Maybe you want to go out and beat them. Like Detroit. When's the last time you beat them? Probably last week or something, or 2 weeks ago, right? Play them all the time. It's great. Beat them 100 times, whatever. But I think some people just won't even play him. All right, we're always going everywhere. All right, Drew, thank you so much for your time. And let's, try to keep in touch about events and things. And come on the stream. I'll come on your stream. Let's play some people. I would like to play you some more. I never really got to play you at all, actually, once or twice. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty boring to play. I only have 2 characters, but I can play you in 1 and 2 also, which I would like to do as well. I'm pretty good at 2.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're better than me at 2 for sure.
Like Dubson beats me in 1 and 2 and 3, so he's better than me in all of them. I
Yeah,
would say, yeah, he's
Dubs is
very
really
good.
good at 1 too.
He's
Yeah.
very
Oh
good.
yeah.
I think I won a few matches versus him on 1, but then I just recently played him 5 in a row, and he won both of them. I couldn't do anything. But yeah, I
He
would like
won.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to play
Yeah,
you more on 2 and 1. Go ahead. He what?
Definitely. Yeah. The MK2 and MK1 online events that we held back in 2020. He won the MK1 and the MK2 events.
Right. If you want to stream now, I could send the viewers to you.
Man, I'm going to bed. It's
Okay.
4 o'clock
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problems. All right. So yes, we're gonna get more people on. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this stuff. Just let's try to push everybody to fight Cade for now. Can we try to do that? Let's try. We don't have to do the rankings. Maybe that's a dumb idea. I don't know. I just tried to get people into it again. I want to rank up a little bit. But if it's really too difficult, just try to get players on Fightcade. And let's try to get maybe a time schedule up or something. Something
Yeah.
like that. All right,
Yeah.
go to bed. You're
Gotta
you're
work something out.
you're already tired. You got the kids in the morning. I don't have the kids in the morning, so I'm good. All right.
All right.
Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. I hope I addressed some things, Drew. Thanks you very much. Good night,
Yeah.
sir.
Thanks
And
for having me on.
you're welcome. And thank you for doing what you did. All right. So,
Take care, man.
yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you all. And of course, we're going to talk about this stuff. All this stuff coming. Okay? All this stuff coming. Thank you. And official, we'll see you on the Discord. And True, Base, Jimmy, Drew, Biggs, everybody that I missed. Roll Tide, Arion, Detroit. I love all you guys, man. I love all you guys. Even the new guys. Let's just keep this game going, man. All right? Peace, peace, peace. Thank you all. I hope this was a good stream. I hope you guys like it. Put the answer stuff on the Twitter, on the Facebook. I'll have the Facebook up soon with the On Blast show. And good job, guys. Base, thanks for keeping it as best as you can. I know you're a very competitive player and I want more people to play. Sofa King, yes. I keep forgetting. You are different. Yes, thank you for you. Shady. I'm forgetting everybody. I'm sorry. It's 1 a.m. Everybody is gonna get a voice on my show. Everyone can say what they want to say. I respect all you guys. The mean players, the good players, the bad players. Let's talk more about this tomorrow. All right? Peace out. Sofa King, I didn't mean to forget you. Space Boy, I don't mean to forget you either. Everybody, counterweight. Yes, God, the fucking names. It's 1 a.m. I hope you forgive me. Oh, I'm getting old. All right. It's 1 a.m. for you. It's 7 a.m. for me, by the way. Actually, look at this before I leave. There's my camera, and that's my outside window right now. The sun is up. You like my green screen behind me and my soundproof wall? Look at that. Isn't that great? All right. I got really cool acoustic panels up. Anyway, it's light out. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Adios.